There's a lot of noise going on out there. Just wanna be happy. Okay. Library. Just. That's my playlist. How do I get to... Okay. I think I have this. I got it. Dun, 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 dun. Hi, Ash.
What's up?
I was just trolling Moo.
Oh my god.
Over
What
the...
did she do now?
No, so she always like has come at me and said horrible things, and I was like, okay, bitch, I'm gonna get ya. So she was over on a UK panel, and so I went up to troll her, and I acted just like she acts on our panels, and I said everything she says. And so then I was arguing with like the whole United Kingdom.
Oh my
I'm
god.
like, what? I'm just acting like Moo. And then some women
Right.
came in. Some women came in. They were black women, and they're from America. So I'm like, well, this is how Moo acts on American TikTok. What are you talking about? And they didn't like that because they're like, we're American. And somebody on the panel, I remember somebody said anti-black, and that set the panel off. And then this woman said, I've never known Moo to be anti-black. She's never said anything about black women on my panel. So I said, well, I can bring in some black women that would disagree with you. That's all I said. And then a couple minutes later, I was a racist because I brought up race. And I'm like, but I didn't. And they were like, you called Moo anti-black. And I'm like, I would never say that to her. It wasn't me. Oh yeah, it was a big mess.
Oh my god.
And then some other man came up on the panel that had given the women issues, and it turned into their issue with him. So they were trying to tell me, oh, well, Moo just trolls. I'm like, yeah, she trolls by punching down. What are you doing?
Laying down.
Yeah, I don't know. What's been going on over in Gossipville?
I don't know. I've kind of not been in it. I've just been listening for the most part. I do know the whole Dantrell thing yesterday. We were talking about the difference between like what you would be considering stealing art to being inspired to a collage, all this stuff. So that was interesting. I guess Mold found uh, a print that's exactly, it's like a cloth that they saw on eBay or something. And Dentrell verbatim used it in one of his pieces, and he called it original, without giving any credit or something like that to the, I guess, creator of that print.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
I'm not getting involved in the art scandal. All I can say about Dantrell is that he stiffed me $85 out of a sweatshirt.
Oh
So
shit.
yeah, so I DM'd him and said, hey, blah, blah, blah. Got no answer. So I thought to myself, well, maybe he gets like hundreds of DMs. Let me try his website. So I went to his website and I used the contact form and I contacted him there. Never heard anything back. And when I finally got to talk to him about it, his excuse was that he gets so many emails and DMs he loses track. And I said, well, if
Oh
you're
my
so
gosh, I
rich,
almost bought a sweatshirt.
yeah, I said, if you're so rich and prestigious, why don't you have someone keeping track of your emails and DMs? Especially from your website, right? I would think that somebody would check pretty much all of their emails from their website that they sell art from,
Mm,
you know? And so he was
mm-hmm.
trying to play it off like it was a simple mistake. And I'm like, but I even went to your live and told you to check your DM. Like, we're mutuals. And you said, okay, I will. And I thought that would, solve it.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't. And he says, oh, well, it was just a simple mistake. See, I just didn't get the DM of the email. And I said, you need a secretary. And I said, I don't want any more of your art. Fuck your art. Which basically what I told him.
I almost bought a sweatshirt to support, and then I don't know what happened. It didn't happen, and then I almost bought one of his prints, and I was just really disappointed because one time I was doing the waffle that they do, and I originally placed it was like a bid, and I placed a bid for 50 for this piece. And then out of nowhere, somebody comes and places a bid for 75. And then they were like, oh, actually just do 100 to clear it. And I was like, how do we not know that this person's gonna bid more than 100? Also, I'm sorry, I support art, but for a print, I'm not paying 100. I am going to pay 100 for an original piece, not a print.
Yeah, I
And they
couldn't
didn't
afford
bid. And then after that, I was like, I don't like this. How is it that they always have somebody that's bidding?
upping the price. Yeah, yeah.
Right. Like, I feel like it was like a way to get people to. I don't know. I never ended up buying one.
I call my situation the sweatshirt scandal because it happened in Bold's Live. Hold on.
Oh, wow.
They were raffling off sweatshirts, for, and the cost of the sweatshirt in real life was $85. So I was like, well, maybe this is my chance if I buy different tickets where I can have a sweatshirt or a piece of art that I can afford. So I kept bidding, and I bid up to $80. That's what I could afford, and then I lost when they did the wheel. But then Liv and Dantrell said for everybody that bid, they could take the dollar amount they bidded, go over to the website, and subtract that amount from whatever the cost of an item was. So I DM'd him. I'm like, I'm really excited. I want a sweatshirt for, $5 because I would have owed $5. So I went over to the website and I looked at sweatshirt, $85. I'm like, cool, I can get this sweatshirt for $5. Never happened. And when I was talking to Jantrell about it, he's like, oh, that's not a big deal. We do that for people all the time. We discount the money they spend so they can buy art. And I'm like, yeah, but you ignored me. I never got a sweatshirt. I never got anything. You got my money, though. So I didn't really get
Mm.
a deal out of it. Yeah, it was like this promise, like, the amount you spend, $80, could be subtracted from
I
anything off.
would personally, I would contest it with your bank.
Well, I used Cash App. I could contest it with Cash App.
Yeah.
Maybe I should, but it was a long time ago.
Well, you should find it and take a screenshot of it. And every time you see those motherfuckers, you should go up and be like, I never got my sweatshirt. Here's my receipt. Never received it. You should also take screenshots of the email you send them and shame them because, to my personal opinion, finding out like all the stuff with Jones and stuff, and then finding out that it also went into like Jantrell and live in them, like just taking advantage of people, especially people on the left who sincerely we're trying to at least stand for what's right and 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 know that they're taking advantage of people. It's advantage of the type of people that shouldn't be taking advantage of.
Yeah, but when I've tried to talk to people about it before, they said I was just a white womaning trying to take a black man down. And also, I don't think me shaming him would be as effective as you think.
I think now, given the circumstances of everything that has happened and transpired, um, I think you should. And if anybody has an issue with it, just be like, look, this is everything to do with him not giving me the item that I gave money to. I gave money and I did not receive an item and I was ignored. And I'm just trying to get answers. And that's it.
Yeah, well, yeah, I blame
You
myself
either
too with
return my
having.
money and I say nothing else, or you send me a goddamn sweatshirt. And at this point, I just want my money back.
Well, no, I blame myself because I'm a big advocate. If you send money to people through Cash App, once that money is gone, you have no right to complain. So I did participate in the raffle. I did that. They just didn't fulfill their end.
Right.
Um, but I'm trying to tell people, and it's when I do, I'm just a racist. I don't want to see black people succeed. I'm trying to get in the way. It's only $80. It went to a good, I get this kind of backlash, and so
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna let everybody else do it. That's not me, and I'm gonna enjoy watching it.
Question: do you know if Jolly's involved in any of this stuff, or what do you know?
I don't know if he is, but you know how Irish attacked Avery?
No, I didn't know that.
Okay, Irish attacked Avery. Avery has a lot of mental health issues and she age regresses and wears diapers for age regression therapy because she has PTSD. It's a whole thing. So Irish said she was a diaper wearing sex predator, right? So he would spend like weeks and weeks on Avery. Comes out, Jolly knows Avery. They have like some kind of connection through the military. And he never once stepped in. Nobody. I stepped in. That's why Irish came after me. I stepped in. And then he twisted it around like, why are you defending a sex predator in diapers? I'm like, I'm not. I'm defending a transgender vet with mental health issues. Okay, I'm not saying that Avery's perfect. I'm saying she's not a sexual predator. And then I got attacked. We had this whole big live where I fawned. And they like lied and made up a bunch of stuff. But so Avery and Jolly, to my knowledge, know each other. Somehow they have a military connection and they know each other personally. And he didn't use his influence in any way. He does not use his influence to help people when they really need it. Like, we went to him. We told him. He didn't answer us. I was in his live, typing it in the comments. He would say, I know. Didn't do shit. Um, But
Mm.
he's been awfully quiet, so I would suspect that he knows more than maybe we think, and he's getting off scot free.
Yeah, because this is so funny. On Instagram, I have a couple mutuals. I have some person that I actually did a film with who is working with some of the former puppeteers who were working on Sesame Street. And now that they don't have a job, they basically are doing like content that is like anti-fascist stuff, and they're basically all working together. Long story short, he follows Jolly, and he has been posting him. So it was just crazy to see him on my Instagram, like on my stories. And I don't know where he stands on all of this. and I just want to like at least give him a heads up, like, hey, if this person is like not cool.
I think he's shady, right? So the
Mm.
I people may
Question:
not under
him
what.
getting though, I guess I'm asking because him being, I know he's in Washington right now, and he's there because of the vets and stuff because he's a vet. But I'm
But he didn't help a vet
asking,
when they needed it.
well, I'm asking, um, is he still associated with the Fuck America tour or whatever?
That's what I'm saying. I have no idea. I think he's shady. I think he goes silent when there are issues that need to be addressed. He goes
Mm.
silent. He doesn't gaslight anything by going silent, and he still gets to be some good redheaded fat guy. I don't know. That's my take on it. Because whenever he's called to action, like we were calling him to action, like you can come use your huge influence to solve a very minor problem that you debate about, right? You debate about transgender people and veterans, and he didn't show up. But he
Mm.
knew what was happening, but he wouldn't show up to use his influence. Because his influence could have stopped all that, right?
Mm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I think he likes being in the spotlight, and I don't think he likes doing the work unless it's on like what I call a broad scale, like talking about it, going on a little TV show.
So you're
That's what I
saying
mean.
he's performative?
Yes.
Okay.
And I hate that about men. They get to say all the right things and do all the right things, but when they're called to do it, they just don't do it.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know if anyone's noticed, I'll risk my whole reputation to prove a point and fight a battle. I don't care. And men don't do that. Their selves are more important to them. You
I
know?
get it.
And when I started out on this app years ago, I was just basically a funny troll. I'll tell you how it started. And then one day Liv came into my live, he got on my panel, I didn't know who he was. And I had a troll topic up, but he turned the conversation to anti-racism, and I was like, cool, we can talk about this. So we did, and he followed me, I followed him. And like I bought into the whole cause, until out of the blue he started asking for money and everybody would say education isn't free. Then he started asking for more and more and more money. And then he started drinking a lot and asking for money, and I'm like, I feel like I'm being scammed for money. And so I
Mm.
left that crowd. I left him. Jones did some things that freaked me out. I left them. I had left Irish before that because he's shit. Like, I left the whole crowd. I left Queer Talk because I thought they were performative. I left them all. I just went back to my little corner of being a shitty person. Um, but yeah, I stopped believing in them when I felt like it was more about the money.
Well, to
You
me, it's
know,
like be upfront with people. Like, don't market yourself as this person who's like about the people and stuff, but then you're asking for money and it's going to your pockets and it's not being spent in a communal way.
I don't remember who showed it. It might have been Mr. Jones because they were arguing. I don't remember over who got what money, and it was like a contract between him and Liv and Dantrell and somebody else, and it was breaking up the percentages of what each person would get, and like a lot of people were getting like 7% for whatever efforts they were doing, while Dantrell and Liv were getting like 80%.
Mm.
Do you remember that?
No, but that sounds
It
funny.
might have come out during the bus incident. So when they're fundraising or doing things for like these bigger issues, there's always extra money to be had or whatever. So they were trying to figure out a way. It was about the selling art. So if you let
Mm.
Dantrell sell art on your platform, this is the percentage you would make.
Oh, I see.
Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was like nominal amounts to the people that had to do the work. All to them. I was like, that's the shittiest. Who would agree to that? You'd have to sell like thousands of dollars to make any money.
Um, from what I remember, it was like you were trying to essentially help the person's platform, but all the work was being done by them. Like that's what they were saying.
Yeah, yeah. And I just think like at this point, my new opinion, because I'm someone that can actually grow and change their opinions over time. I can feel one way a year ago and then learn something new and feel differently a year later. That doesn't make me a hypocrite. That makes me somebody capable of learning. Um, I feel now, I feel now today like we should not participate in anything led by men. No movements, no marches, no donations, no fundraising, anything led by men, we should not be participating in. So I don't.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
just a
anymore.
good idea.
Yeah, it doesn't
That's
matter
a
the
great
race.
idea.
It doesn't matter the race of men or what they're preaching about because men bring corruption.
Unless they're trans men.
No, trans men are men.
No.
Men too. When I say no men, I mean all men. I mean all men. I mean trans men,
No.
a
Agua.
AMAB, mass presenting
Oh
people.
my god.
Tony, we're talking. You goof. AMAB people who are mass presenting. So the only people I think we should participate in is female, women, and AFAB leadership at this point. I mean, we just cannot trust any of them. They're just socialized too hard into masculinity, and masculinity teaches you to screw people. And for trans men, the closest way for them to have masculinity is to punch down on femininity, I find a lot of the times. And I'm just not buying it. Trans men can go be men and stay with the men. They're not
Mhm.
special, they're just men. I mean, they should be happy. I'm affirming their gender. You're just a man. You're all men. Right?
I'm not saying that they're not men. I'm just saying, I don't know. I think they have a different perspective on life because at one point they were women, or at least perceived as such. But
Yeah,
I
but
hear you. It's just
masculine.
from a different perspective. But I get it. I understand the sentiment.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not going to trust a trans man. That's just another man. You're just handing over power to another type of man. Like, what are you doing? What are we doing?
Oh
No
no, no
men means
power. Oh my
if
goodness.
you want
Prince
to
is
call me,
here.
call me transphobic or a bigot because I say trans men are men and it's all men, then you can do that. I don't care.
I mean, you're trans, so
Yeah.
you can have that opinion. I get it.
No kings means no trans men either. They're not going to be kings. Absolutely not. But yeah,
Absolutely
no,
not.
I think Jolly is performative. He shows up when it benefits him, when it gives him FaceTime. That's what I'll say. He'll show up on a panel and do his whole spiel, and everybody's like, go, Jolly. That's how he shows up. But he doesn't show up when a marginalized person could use his power and use his help, even in a very small way, like Avery. Because really, it would have taken 10 minutes of his time to help her, and he just didn't.
Hi, Carnage. How do we feel about Carnage?
I like Carnage. Okay, this is
Yeah,
gonna
I think
sound
he's
weird.
funny. The way he trolls Eddie has me on the floor.
This is gonna sound weird. I know Carnage is a black man and does
Oh,
not
happy birthday!
happy birthday, and he has a whole different experience. But in a lot of ways, he reminds me of my son. Just kind of good-hearted, soft-spoken, educated. Like he shares a lot of commonalities with my son.
Aww. Carnage, Aquas sees you as a son.
Stop it! I'm saying they have a lot of similarities. Yeah.
That's sweet.
I like him. He's a young man that reminds me sometimes of my
He's
son.
so the way he trolls at the I'm not even kidding. That day that he made at the read, I was in tears. I was in, and the way that Ethy grabbed the book and couldn't even complete a sentence, we were all on the floor.
You know he's bankrupt, right?
Ethy?
Oh, I didn't tell you what I did?
No.
Okay. So, Effie's hanging out with Siren, and he hadn't said anything to me, but I was like, I know this little bitch is going to try to talk to me like he does back, 'cause I just know it. So I went to the Google and I put in his first name, and then I put in parentheses, last name unknown, comma, Washington, comma, Farriers. And it came up with two people named, with his first name in Washington State as Farriers. So I looked them both up on LinkedIn. None of them had pictures. So then I looked them both up on Facebook, and there was his picture that he uses on TikTok. I'm like, bitch, found you. Fucking found you, right? So a little bit ago, he was on the panel and he was trying to come at me a little. And I was like, okay, bitch. Um, so I just, brought up his charges in his ugly face. And then he got pissed that I brought up his charges. And I'm like, well, bitch, I know, and I'm thinking, I know more. I can bring up more than just. I'm just leaking out little bits of information. So I basically told him, don't talk to me, don't talk at me, and don't ever talk to me like you talk to Bex. Do not play with me. He hasn't since. So, but yeah, he's bankrupt, and I have all his debtors.
Yeah, he blocked me
Everything.
yesterday. He
Huh?
blocked me from the live. He blocked me from the live. So long story short, I was saying, Meti can't go to Canada because he has a felony charge, and he was
That's
like, "No, I
it.
don't."
He can't go. And it's not because he
But
has a felony
he was
charge.
like, "I have a misdemeanor," and I was like, "No, you're a
No,
felon."
he has a
Um,
fourth degree aggravated assault. So even if that's a misdemeanor, you
holy
can't go with
shit!
assault charges. You cannot enter any other countries with, you cannot enter Mexico or Canada with assault charges, be them misdemeanors or felonies. And he said fourth degree assault. I researched the penal code in Washington. That's unwanted touching. That's how they worded it. But it's not schmexual. Nobody say anything. He did anything schmexual because he did not. And they classify that under domestic violence. So to explain himself, he tried to say that he fought with his roommate that was a man at a time, and I'm like, that's still domestic violence. If two people domicile in a house, be it roommate or romantic, and they slap each other around, that's violence in the home, right? And he wasn't getting it. Yes, when men hit each other, that is also domestic violence. Mind blown. Yeah, so.
Well, I didn't even know the extent of what it was. I just overheard on a panel when you said that he has charges. So I told him that I was trolling him, and I said that his charges came from go touching horses inappropriately, and I was just trolling him, and he eventually blocked me from. It was Andrew's live. I was in the comments. And then I came on my troll account and I heard them all sitting there and talking about me. Bex was the only one because they were weird. They were comparing me to QB. I recorded it. They compared me to QB and said that QB is hotter than me. And Bex is like, why are we comparing them? And and she was just asking like why are we doing that with women? And then Effie was like, it's the truth. It's I don't know why, but
Oh
Effie is
yeah,
talking about anybody's looks when he looks that way.
I know.
He looks like
And
an
then,
extra from Breaking Bad, so I don't know why
oh,
he's
Siren was in
speaking.
the comments the other night being, I don't know why you're obsessed with speaking on other women's bodies. I'm like, bitch, you do the same thing. You compare women. Like, what are we talking
Right,
about?
she for a minute she was because for whatever reason, what's her face? Kay had pictures of me when I took in my bra, and she was trying to say that it was see through. I was like, you have to zoom in all the way to see even a shadow.
The bitch
And
has
I'm
her titties
still
on the
wearing.
internet. Why is she worried about your bra?
Well, because they were trying to say that they could see my boobs, and then I told Siren, "Well, that's what boobs look like. I know you're not used to boobs at all. You're just used to mosquito bites." And then she, for like a month, was saying that I have orangutan titties, and then I said, "Baby,
Racist.
you wouldn't know what a titty was if your mom slapped you with it at 5 months. You've never been breastfed, and that's why you act the way that you act. You're
That's
mad. You
she
wear a
said that.
training bra, and you're 40 years old."
She called you orangutan titties.
Yeah.
That's like macro aggression.
No, yeah, she's racist. And I told her, I was like, "Do you know what size bra I wear? I wear a woman's bra. I wear a double D. What do you wear, babe? You wear your fucking training bra that you wore in middle school because it still fits, right? Because you don't got a titty, you don't got a ass. All you have is your gaping hole to sell for $2.50 on the internet. I don't gotta do that. I don't gotta sell my ass and titties that I do have for anybody to make money.
Well, I
She
think she's
does.
using decades old pictures. I know she's fat.
Probably, but she still don't got an ass or a titty.
I asked her people. She doesn't look like that anymore.
That's funny.
She's fat now.
And
She
she
won't
still
turn
got
on her
no
camera.
ass.
She won't turn on her camera and prove us wrong. But her people told me, her friends. Or
That's
I
what I
wouldn't call
said.
it.
I said, Siren, I don't know if you look like that because you never turn your camera on. I don't think you look like that anymore. I think you are
She
lying
doesn't.
like tacos.
Yeah. She's skinny facing.
I
Because
think
I
that's
sent
pathetic.
I sent a picture to one of her people. I was talking to them, and they were like, "Are you sure you know Shauna?" Like trying to act like I was lying. And I sent a picture, and they're like, "That's an old picture. She's bigger now." I'm like, "Oh,
Oh
really?"
shit. You
But I'm
should be like,
trying.
can you send me a picture because she's lying and saying that this is what she looks like.
No, no, no. Like I'm trying to like work this connect slowly because
Oh,
I
I
don't
hear
want to lose
you.
it. I'm trying to be nice. Like
I hear you. I
I'm
hear
not
you.
asking for pictures yet.
That's funny,
Yeah,
Siren.
that's why she never
Siren,
came
where are you
around.
lying? Be who you are.
But
Siren, come
she's just like
on.
tacos, skinny facing.
I love when women who are fat are trying to pretend that they're skinny or use old photos and then simultaneously call other women who are proud of who they are at any weight and trying to say that they're fat or call them any kind of name because of their body. Like, bitch, I've never hid any part of my body from the world. And I'm not going to sit here and use a decade old photo
Yeah,
just
like
to feel like you're a pussy.
I'm trying to be fat. I
Wait,
hate being
can't we
little.
confirm who spent $2.50?
Me,
Didn't Prince do that? Yeah, but you never got your content.
I
You
never
need to
got
get
my
your money
content.
back.
I submitted a complaint form too.
Nice.
Yep.
But didn't Prince pay for it? Isn't Prince in here?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he did.
I thought so. I just wonder if it was a video, because if it was a video, it's a possibility that it's old. If it was live, then we would know if that's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And like they all have this weird obsession with sex.
Carnage.
And I know why. It's because Shauna is that type of girlfriend that gets a boyfriend who goes after all of his exes, all of his friends that are women. She's that bitch. She's that bitch who'll be laying in bed and she'll call your ass. Do you know so and so? Oh yeah, I dated him 10 years ago. Stay away from him, bitch. You fucking. That's Shauna.
Well,
Yeah.
she's a crazy bitch.
And
She's
she'll get in
certified
between.
crazy.
She'll get in between a man and any of their friendships with women, and just so that she, I don't know, feels secure. I don't know. That's her. You ever
Mm.
met those crazy bitches like that? You ever gotten a call from
Oh
an
yeah.
ex?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Or like a Facebook message from an ex. I've gotten Facebook messages from men, or they weren't men at the time, like boys I've dated in high school. High school! And I'm a lesbian now. I'm like, you don't need to worry, I'm a lesbian now. Don't you lie to me, bitch. You want him. I've dealt with these crazy bitches.
That's wild. Yeah, there was a guy from high school who the girl that he ended up marrying, I guess she didn't like that he was so mutual from people from high school. I'm telling you, 8 years later, I'm like, girl, what? I didn't even like put two and two together that I was like, who is this random person? And she sent me a message on Instagram and she was like, just so you know, I'm having so and so block everybody from high school. Don't try to contact him. I was like, I haven't talked to him in 8 years. But you could tell it was one of those messages that she like copy pasted to any woman that he like. Just say he cheated on you and you don't trust him, even with high school friends. Just say that.
That's Shauna, and she would. I think these types of women try to do preemptive measures to make sure they don't get cheated on, and just make themselves look stupid. Apparently, Meffy's not allowed to watch porn either because she considers that cheating. And I'm like, bitch, you are two
Yeah, I
countries
heard
away.
that.
You're
I
two.
heard that.
You're
That's
telling a man.
crazy.
You're telling a man who can't come visit you how to self gratify himself. Are you serious? Send him some of your videos, then, bitch. I don't know.
Hey guys. Hey
Welcome,
SS.
welcome.
Hey my Aqua
Hi,
nieces.
Didi.
Hey my
Hey.
other niecey Pookie Poo. So I was listening as always. And yeah, if they're not a couple so much and you guys are both denying each other, why are you telling him he can't watch, as my niecey put it, have that self gratification? If y'all not
Yeah.
in some type of relationship, that's none of your business. For number one, if that's just your friend, I have a male. If I have a male friend and we're like close or whatever that for each other, I'm not gonna tell him, "Oh, you can't watch corn." That's none of my damn business. I'm not gonna tell him who he can and can't sleep with either because it's none of my business. We're just friends. Now, if he has my heart, that's a whole different story. But
Yeah,
don't
I
y'all. That
don't.
just went straight over y'all head. Okay.
I just look at it differently because I would never tell a woman she couldn't watch porn, even if she was with me. And my reasonings for that is because I'm pretty much asexual. I'm not going to do all the things you want me to do. So if you want to go look at other people doing them and get off, I don't care. But that's just weird to me to try to control someone's sexuality.
And it's also a stress release too. I've had my days where when I couldn't go to sleep, you know what I mean? And I'm just out like a light. I'm not trying to go out there and look for anybody if I don't want to be bothered with who, if I'm with somebody or whatnot, or they're not home or whatever. Hey, look, let me go and break myself out, get me a shower, get me a little snacky poo, and I'm out. And it actually, well, we know it relaxes you, right? But yeah, it could be. What if he's doing it for those reasons? To really stress or what have you. You just gonna straight up tell this man that you don't even know, a stranger over the internet, y'all have not met up or anything, that he cannot watch something that's, and he listens like the good little boy that he is, which is weird to me.
I see.
I
She
mean, he could
doesn't
be
phrase it
lying.
well.
He could just
She doesn't.
lie and be like, "Yeah, I don't watch it," but then just
Right,
watch it.
right. You be honest with a
Exactly.
broad that you never smashed with. Why are you being so vulnerable and giving her all of you?
Well, I think he's lying because he has hopes that she will cross the Canadian border to go see him.
Oh my goodness.
You see what I'm saying?
But he can't go see her and she's settling
No,
for
he has
that?
a felony.
Okay, okay, I get it. Had it not been that, he would go. I
He
see
would
now.
have been in Canada.
Right,
He would
right.
have
He's
pitched
also
a
bank.
tent somewhere. He would have
He's
taken
also
a horse across the border to Canada.
he's also bankrupt. I don't think Canadian lets bankrupt people in. I heard something about that. I could be wrong.
Damn, that's harsh.
I know, right? Oh, he doesn't have a license. He doesn't have. You're supposed to be the licensed to farrier in Washington State. He doesn't have a license to do that either.
Damn,
So
man,
he's
you just a brokey.
he's performing on horses without a license, which is illegal. You have to be certified in Washington State.
But you know what, you guys, he confuses me because I've had recordings of him flirting back and forth and talking about sexual stuff with men. Not saying that he is, but the way you always talk, as homophobic as both of you are, and she sits there and she don't tell him, oh, stop. She don't like hush him with that, but he did it with Wavius. He did it with um who else that they that actually Uncle Tom's for him. I think oh my freaking goodness. I think maybe Kunisha. It was, especially when they're talking about the people when they're not in the boxes, they're like, oh, I like him so much. And they sexualize these black men, fetishize Cherry Cole. It was the once in Cherry Cole's live, and then another one in Nick's live. And I heard, and I'm listening at when they were going back and forth about the gripping thing. Carnage gonna say they're best friends. I don't see anything wrong with them saying they want to grape each other. And this man sit here and try to lie. I'm like, dude, you're on a recording. It's in Nick's live. It
Well,
was
do you
in
know what
Nick's live.
Siren? Do you know what Siren said the other night
What?
on Andrew's live that got me up on the panel screaming?
What?
Wavyless was pleading his case, and
Hmm.
they were justifying it by saying that he only did it because he was really mad and he didn't say it to women. So I'm like, you're saying men saying they're going to grape other men is okay? Like, you do know
Why
more
is it
grapes
always
happen.
about, oh, I did this or said this because I was mad? Oh, I called you the N word because you pushed me to it because I was mad. That is so freaking sick and disgusting. It don't make sense to me. It never did.
Yeah, but Siren piped up and said, yeah, it's not like he's saying it to women. I'm like, he's telling other men he's going to grape them. It's the same thing. I think that grape actually happens between men more than it does to women because men are violent with each other and they just don't report it. I think they're so used to graping each other that they just do it to women too. Men are just trying to have power over everything and that's how they
And it
do it.
is
So
about
grape.
power. It is about power.
Yes.
Most definitely. They think, oh, because like if a guy is effeminate and he's in our community, oh, something must have happened to you. And that's why. No, I would not really say that either, because if that's the case, they would not want to be around men. But if they're actually, this is their truth and probably couldn't articulate it or didn't know, because every kid is not the same. I mean, I knew in nursery, I knew. And just like when Jazz, when she was explaining to her mom at 7 years old, she said that I told my mom, I said, I have a girl's brain and a boy's body. You can't get no more articulate than that. And there's a lot of these beautiful, amazing, intelligent kids that can actually set a grown adult down and say what they're feeling. Something's not right. And
I remember.
even when I was little, it was like, oh, she's a tomboy. I didn't want to be a boy. I just like girls. That's all.
Yes, when I was little, my parents used to call me a girl, and I would start crying. I'm not a girl. I'm not a girl. Oh yeah, like I don't know, just to say that, just to justify making rapist comments by saying at least he's not saying it to women. That kid has assault charges. You don't think he's gonna escalate and actually do what he's talking about to somebody? Like nobody should be raping anybody or making those threats. First of all, like what
You
are
know
we
what
doing
doesn't
here?
make sense? You know what doesn't make sense to me? He said a bunch of crazy shit to Siren, and she for like 3 days was like, "You can't. I can't believe that you said that under that account. We were friends. Blah blah blah. All this shit, right? But then you stay friends with him
Right.
the same way you stay friends with a bunch of bitches who are weird as fuck, problematic as fuck, who've done really fucked up shit to you. But then you go out of your way to dox people who have never doxed you. They might have had an argument with you on TikTok, but they've never doxed you. They've never looked you up to any capacity. But you want to sit there and go after them? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you,
Because
bitch?
you laughed at a joke because she was saying that about
Yeah.
people on our side as well.
Yeah, she said
Oh
that
well, you
about
laughed at me.
passion. I
You said,
know.
yeah, you sat up there and laughed, and QB did me the same thing, Nisi, when we were like discovering her stuff and we were reading it online, and we were, you know how we make our little gifts in the Discord, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when we came back in Bo's life, she just came up to me and said, "Yeah, I saw you making a gift. I didn't do you anything, but she was tagging me about it." And so that's why her and I like have been kind of like going at it a little bit or whatever. And she always constantly, this is what I don't like about people. If I'm sharing something with you in confidence, though I never said, "Oh, don't tell nobody," but you know the severity of the conversation. What she does, it's taken. I've heard you guys talk about it. She does this as well. She weaponizes it. Oh, and you, I was helping you. You didn't help me with my damn mama. What you were talking about, trigger warning. Um, the blood and we was talking about medical stuff and different type of illnesses, and I'm like, okay, she sounds like she knows a little bit what she does, because the argument or the debate had kind of like calmed down a little bit, and she was like, come on, all right, Didi, no, no, I'm not gonna call you from no more. You're not a pet. That's your life. We just gonna stand on every woman to woman because I want to hear your side. I don't hate you. I don't like black people, but I can, straighten up and I can have a conversation with, because everybody else was like dogging, and I was as well. So I even said, let's just talk. And she said, okay, Didi, woman and woman, we're going to talk. And that's where it led to her and I actually having a conversation and talking about things. And some things we actually experience in common. And so when we were talking about the medical stuff, I said, oh, you know what? Can I ask you this question? And my mom was going through such and such and such. Sound like it maybe a coagulation of her blood, because I know she has a trait that could have triggered off, or something could have aggravated it or whatnot. So she said, talk. We can talk on the back end, Didi. You don't want to. So we went to each other's DM, and I'm still trying to find it. That's what she's trying to throw in my face, because I
Oh
was
no.
vulnerable and you was trying to cover yourself actually being there and trying to like give me advice on what I need to look for. Because she said, I know you love doing your digging and stuff. So look this up, look that up. And if there's anything else I can probably, help you with. I'm not a doctor, but what you're describing, because she did the way she, before I even told her about my mom, the way she was talking, like she really does, not saying that she's a medical expert or whatnot, but the way she was breaking down everything. And that's what made me want to ask her about the situation that I asked her about with my mom. But now she's throwing it in my face, talking about, oh, because you had a problem with one of your family members, your mother. I'm like, so, and you're going to throw it in my face?
Well, Didi,
Because, yeah.
she's not as knowledgeable as she pertains to be because I've
I
caught her
found
a
that
few
I just
times.
found that out. I just found that out because when I
Yeah,
first
don't.
came across her, I thought she was smart, articulate, and the way she was like would come after people, especially with the AB stuff. You know how the MODs and all of that, they sound like they really really know what they're talking about, and that's what like I kind of like had like a jerk reaction, like whoa, she really know her stuff. And now that I've seen this side of it, she's just another crazy thing but screaming about nothing. Because I really looked at her in a whole different way. It was because the way she presented herself and the way she had her arguments from, as if she really did know what she was talking about. And
She
that's where I
doesn't.
slipped up at.
So she wants to tell people she's a nurse and she knows everything. The first time I caught her slipping was when a panel was talking about George Floyd. I think that was it. But her comment was, well, he wasn't, I don't know if I can say the word, strangled, because if he was, then he would have this kind of spotting in his eyes, and anyone who has been wrangled has this spotting. That's not true.
It's
You
called a
can,
patika, like when
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's called a
So
patika, a patina, something like that.
yeah, so it is a very common occurrence with people who lose oxygen that way, but it
Right,
doesn't happen to everybody. It's
right.
not the determination. It's a sign that it happened, but if it's missing, it doesn't mean that it didn't happen. You know what I mean? And so she was
Yeah,
adamant because he didn't have this kind of sign that that didn't happen because he didn't have that sign in his eyes when during his autopsy. And I was like, well, not everybody who loses oxygen that way has that sign. That doesn't mean that it didn't happen. And she
and
was like, nope, nope, I'm a nurse. I know.
and also you guys can probably help me to answer this. He was not strangled like with the hands, because it's really common when you're getting that
Yes.
done to you, because you're actually cutting off the oxygen. It was on the back of his neck. So it would be
Mhm.
more common if their hands was around his neck and that happened, because your eyes would like bulge or whatever, but you're cutting off all of that oxygen that's going to your brain. And that's what makes the patika stuff happens. If I got it wrong, y'all tell me.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that Patika isn't the all know all to that situation. Like you can still have something happen to you without that symptom. And what did she say the other day that was stupid? Oh, we were talking about rugs and people using rugs. And she said, so and so doesn't use rugs. People that use rugs don't they get rug charges? And I'm like, Siren, like 90% of people who use rugs do not have rug charges. It's not like the police just come down and charge you because you're an addict. That's not what happens.
Right.
Why do you
You have
think
to
we
get
have
in
people who are
trouble.
Yeah, why do you think we have people who we have like functioning addicts and people who just like even the worst
She's
addict?
not.
Yeah,
She's.
even the worst
Uh-uh.
addict you could ever imagine probably does not have rug charges. Like, what are we talking about? She's like,
When
nope,
I
nope.
first found out that she was a nurse, I said that's a lie. That's a bold-faced lie. She went to school to be a nurse for 6 months, maybe, and didn't
Yeah, she's
finish.
not a
Or
nurse.
she liked to buy nursing clothes and put them on for her spicy content. But she is not a nurse.
Wow.
I
There's
can't
no way.
imagine it. I can't imagine a nurse engaging in such anti-human rhetoric, especially about transgender
Right. Well,
people.
Tacos is also apparently a nurse.
She's
Oh,
not.
yo.
Okay,
There,
so have you been
I'm
to?
saying she claimed to be a nurse. Am I wrong?
Oh yeah, so if you go to
Mental health.
nurses.com, you can look up anyone's. That's how I found August. Is you can look up anyone to see if they have a CNA, an
Another
RN, an
great nurse.
LPN, an AP of nursing. So I searched for tacos in that database under all nursing professions, including like CNAs, CRNAs. She's not there. That's why I joke and say she's a dietary aide or a health aide. So you don't need any education to be a health aide. A health aide is someone that will come in and like, change your bed while the CNAs are washing your ass. Or they'll bring you a snack if the CNAs are busy. They used to call them candy girls in the hospital. Do you remember that?
Candy stripers.
Yes!
Yeah, candy strippers.
They just do little odds and ends,
Right.
And I think that's what she is. And let me find out where you work, Tacos, because I'm posting your BAN video to them.
Ooh.
Oh, I have a
She
third piece
don't
of
work.
information.
Tacos don't work. Come on now.
But
Tacos
y'all,
adult. Hold on, hold on. Taco's adult daughter is dating a black man, and he's on TikTok, y'all. I found him. He's also an adult.
No.
No, you didn't.
I so did.
Okay.
I so did.
Oh man. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Hmm.
Well, we tried to like warn her crazy ass, but this is what irked me and was cringeworthy. They were holding a live, I believe it was probably Andrews, could have been either one of those idiots, and they were talking about like her that work history and being a nurse and working in the medical industry, and they were also on the subject of graping and when men have it up and stuck. So she was like, they were saying, well, don't you, would you guys be afraid, like, if, I don't even know how the conversation started. They were just talking about men's and them pitching a tent. And she goes, well, I used to work when I was working at uh the elderly's home or something like that. There was this old man that I knew that I grew up with, and every time I walk, I walk in the room. I'm sorry, my buds went out. Every time I walk in the room, his tent was always, because she didn't use those words, and it would be out wide in the open, and that wouldn't scare me because I grew up with him. Is that not creepy?
That's creepy because if any man has their stuff hanging out, I don't care if you're old, sick, disabled, you don't know who you are or where
She
you are,
said the
I'm
man
not
was
going
sitting in
near
his
you.
chair, sitting in his wheelchair, it's his chair. She would have to go in and bathe him or change or whatever she had to do to him. And she said because she knew him and grew up with him, that she wasn't afraid, she wasn't scared that he was gonna grab her and do anything to her. Why are you walking? Like it was like she was saying, "Tra la 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 la." I knew him. I grew up with him. He knew me since I was a kid, and now I'm taking care of him. And he's always pitching a tent, and it just be wide out in the open. She said the man was naked, no clothes on.
Hold on a second, Dee Dee. Cascade, I put the name in the comments. You didn't see it? Did it get filtered? I don't want to say someone's TikTok username on the platform because tacos will be like, you're doxing my kids. No, he's an adult, honey, and he can get the smoke just like you. Sorry, Dee Dee.
No, you're good. You're good. I was trying to get my mic anyway. But yeah, and I listened for a while. I'm trying to remember the date because I know I recorded it because I wanted to throw it in her face and I wanted her to try to lie. I think I probably got it. And I'm just trying to remember if it was Andrews or Nick's. They were all talking about it. It was her, Trey was in the box, her, Trey, Cat, Ethy, and Sirens, and they were all talking about grapey stuff. And like when older men like pitch a tent, they were talking about still not being able to pitch a tent or whatnot. And she just went out and she said, yeah, because I am a nurse, believe it or not. And whenever I walk into his room, he would just be sitting there, and it'd just be up. But I was never afraid of him because he's known me since I was a kid, since I was a baby. I
Ugh.
grew up with him. And she said, I didn't care. I didn't feel uncomfortable. I'm like, what the? I'll be getting my supervisor. Like, I'll be getting somebody.
Exactly. You need to
That
cover
was
that
just
shit up.
nasty and I'm like, I cannot believe this woman is saying this.
I would
Taking
never
away work
nurse
and
a
you tell it to her
man.
she will lie up and down. I never say that. Yes, the hell you did.
I would go get a male nurse and be like, somebody needs you in room 3. Like, what? No.
Somebody needs you. That pitching that 10. Oh, I'll be like, I'm not going in there.
I give so much props to people who work with like people who have like dementia or like and they're older and they're just saying crazy shit, like especially black nurses who have to deal with racist motherfuckers who
Hmm.
are saying crazy shit to them, who I can literally just snip off the oxygen tank and you're done. You
Hold
would
on.
You
Real
flatline.
know,
fast, I had to interrupt this lovely conversation.
Poison.
Hi.
hey, poison.
Hey, Poison.
Hello. Did you delete that post that you made last night, Aqua?
No, it got flagged.
Friday
And
the
then
13th, and guess who's paying Freddy?
I reposted it again and they took the volume off it. I tagged Brayden in it.
Did he see?
I don't know.
Wait, what's the tea? What happened, Raven?
So basically, when Taco was called October a bitch ass nigga, we got it on recording, and Aqua found her daughter's boyfriend who was black, and posted the video of her calling October a bitch ass nigga, and then tagged said daughter's black boyfriend.
Yeah, I did it twice. So one of them got a community guidelines violation. So I took that down. And I did it again, but they removed the volume off the one I did again. So you can't, they removed the sound so you can't hear it. And I'm like, what the hell? Everybody else gets to say N word and call black people N word on this platform. And you're going to flag
Right.
my video? I was
It was
pissed.
Taco's probably flagged it. You should DM him and be like, if you want to know who your mother-in-law or future mother-in-law is really like on the internet, message me
You should also find that video when
and
she.
give him your email.
You should also find that video when she said that she would never allow her daughter to date a black boy, man, whatever.
Oh shit!
Oh, I wish I
I mean,
had that.
what about the thing that
She
she said,
said that.
having a black baby? If she were to get pregnant by a black man, would it be okay for her to get an AB because she would want to keep it? Yeah, I remember that a while ago. That was
What
like
the
last year.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, she was listening.
I could DM him and send him the link to my YouTube, which the video was there, so he could just click on it and go see for himself. I don't know how active he is on TikTok, but I can definitely do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh shit!
Ashley, have you been home?
I just left.
Have you seen the fucking weather?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
No, it's really fucking bad. Like,
It's really hot. And I was telling it to my family, I was like, it's never gone over 103. The fact that the other, like, one of the past week, one day was 110. I was like,
in
what
Cali?
is happening?
In Cali?
No, in Florida.
It was 110.
Yes, girl. Last week I was home, and it was 110 in Miami and 112 in Key West.
Oh hell no. See, I don't. All I know is that for sure there's gonna be a hurricane.
Well, when I was there was one that came through Puerto Rico and then went north.
I know for sure there's gonna be one because you know the signs, like when it starts to get hot and humid like this and like it's consistently gloomy, yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
No, the water is hot. I will say that. The beach, the water was like
I don't
crazy warm.
I don't
So
do
that's not good.
when the skies is not straight blue, baby, I'm not going across no water.
Mm.
So you know where I stay?
My ass inside.
Exactly. The fuck inside. Or with my boyfriend, and guess where we be at? In the fucking house. Hello. Hello.
I saw a lot of like sun showers. There were a lot of like in the middle of the afternoon rain for like 30 minutes and then it'll stop.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Somebody must have posted some crazy shit in the Discord. Hold on.
Tap the screen, everybody. For men, go drink some bleach. See how that works out. I think that you should try it because Donald Trump said so. He said that it would take away your COVID. So yeah, listen to Donald Trump and drink some bleach. It'll help with that.
Yeah.
This is a joke. This is satire. TikTok, that's a satire. It's a joke. Please.
I
It's
mean,
not
men
real.
can drink it as long as it's not my man. As long as it ain't him. Any man can drink it as long as it's not my man. We can hate the niggas over here.
Y'all, I think I found him on YouTube too, so I'm just gonna tag him in my little taco
Oh,
video on
Oh, you
YouTube.
want to see? Stop being greedy. Stop being
You are
stingy.
very, very dedicated. I can tell you that, Uncle. You're a very dedicated person.
Don't fuck with me or my kids or call me a P3 and we'll be good. I mean, it's that simple. You want to make fun of my diapers and call me a bitch or whatever else you want to say, go ahead.
Ooh.
Do
You know
not
what?
fuck with my
I'm not
son.
gonna lie to y'all. I feel like Tacos is not smart enough to dox people, and she's been wanting to be doxed herself for a long time. So she
Listen,
found the loophole, outside of Tamia. She found the loophole. For her to get attention from people, she has to do things like this. So
but
she
see,
this is what she likes. This is what Tacos likes. She likes
you
this
know
shit.
what? I feel as if every time Tacos does some bullshit, or any of their friends, you know, uh, it ain't nothing to take that bullet train to West Palm. You know who in West Palm, Ashley?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Tap that bitch real quick. Bow,
Wait,
bow.
Tacos
Okay.
lives in West Palm?
No.
Oh,
Your
gotcha.
twin, your bestie.
Oh, she's in West Palm?
Girl,
I thought she was
yes.
in Palm Beach.
Girl. Same difference.
Oh, no, it's not.
They
Oh,
close.
I know that she was, bro, but she's
She
under house
said
arrest, so I'm not even worried about that hoe. She's going to jail.
she's in Palm Beach. I believe she said
She's
Lakewood.
pulling her hair out of her head because she's stressed out. She knows she's
Listen.
going away.
Can I get big box, please?
What the fuck is this? What is that?
Ew. Please, Poison, break it down exactly. Because Poison was like, she had the line. Let me shut up. Let
Wait, that's
Poison just do it.
QB?
Yes.
Oh, she's stressed out.
Got that cystic acne and the drainage running down her cheek. Oh, so basically, she was
The chin, you can
um
still see the chin.
she was in Andrew's live the other day,
Who's
and
live? Sorry.
uh was it Andrews or Nick's? I don't remember. It was one of their lives. And it was raining. Like I told you, it's for the past week or two it's been horrible fucking weather. And Greenlick said, "Can you get your shirt wet? Can you get your shirt wet?" Sure, I'll get my shirt wet. And she goes and stands inside of the rain. Now, I don't know what world or earth this bitch is from, but you never go out in South Florida fucking rain. You never go out in South Florida rain. At least not without an umbrella and a raincoat. That's the most disgusting thing you can ever do. That's fucking nasty. But whatever, right? She goes, she gets her shirt wet. Then he says, "Can you lay down?" He asks her, "Can you lay down?" And guess what the hell this bitch does?
Oh, that's so disgusting. Oh my
Lays down.
gosh, on the ground. That's
I have the
disgusting.
video.
What the
The,
fuck? Big
I
bucks.
have
Big
Poison. I
bucks,
have the
big bucks, big
video
bucks.
of.
Big bucks, big bucks, big bucks.
Oh wait, I have the video of the one Poison showed before. Y'all didn't see nothing yet.
On the
On the
floor?
floor.
On
On the
the no,
floor.
on the ground outside
Yeah.
in the rain. Then she's like, like how like the water runs off of the gutters and off of the roofs, and like
Yes.
she put her feet in that, like playing in it. I'm like, oh my god, this bitch is clearly not sober, right? She ends up confirming that she's not sober. She says that she's drunk. Okay. I thought that you couldn't be drinking while you're on probation. They're getting drunk on probation, but that's what she said, but whatever. And yeah, then she gets on live and she proceeds to shave her pussy on live. She starts asking, "Can you hear the razor going? Can you hear the razor going?"
And she was playing it. Let me go
Yeah,
find that
she
video
was
for you,
putting the
Poison.
razor to the
Green
side.
Lake is sending her $20. every time
No,
she
she
does something.
wasn't getting paid to do that. She was just offering like that. She's like, go.
Nah, I'm telling you, he's sending her money to do this dumb shit. I'm
He used
telling
to
you.
do that. Yep, yep. He used to do this.
I'm
I
not
think he's
surprised.
sending other people money. I know he's sending Beck's money.
For what?
Hold up, I got you. Hold
Hold the
up.
hell up. Shh. It's storming. Good God. It is storming outside. Oh my God. Now, back to what I was saying. Yes, she shaves her pussy on live. Then she proceeds to say that she's going to go to a pool party. I don't know if she took some kind of pills or she pulled a cat or something. There's no possible way there's a pool party going on during a thunderstorm. There's no way. So now you're on live, you're drunk, you're telling people you're putting on your bikini, you're shaving your pussy, you lay down in fucking acid rain. Fucking disgusting. And now you have cystic acne. I'm telling you, this bitch is disgusting. And Ashley, you need to get your cousin.
Wait, hold on. What do you mean, my cousin? Wait, I'll let Poison come back. What do you mean, my cousin? What are you talking about?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hmm?
No. Yeah. No.
Listen. When I tell you the way it's set up, I got layers in front of me before anybody gets to me. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Let me know when y'all ready.
I mean, listen, I haven't lifted a finger, and this is what I'm going to tell you right now. Look at the result. I said it that day when Rio asked me, and I'm going to say it again today. I don't got to lift a finger.
And this is
You
all,
fucked with the wrong one.
but it's just also like, bro, but do you understand? Like, and I honestly feel as if she's going through some form of psychosis, right? Because I'm not the only one that remembers her talking about how she used to do brujeria and stuff like that. Like, I'm like, okay, you say you do it, but like, now all of a sudden you're praying with the man at a grocery store. You had to touch something and fuck something up.
Poison. One time we were talking about the practice and tell me how she went into her closet and she had a doll of Yemaya and it was a light skinned doll. And I said,
Light
that's not,
skin doll.
yes, bitch.
That's not Yemaya. I
It was a
can't.
light skin entity, and I said, that's
That's
not.
not her. It's
And I
the
explained to her, and she was like, it looks like me, it's a representation of me. And I was like, you're
Yemaya. It's
not
not
Yemaya.
you.
You're not Yemaya. You're not supposed to do that.
Right.
Even your entity, like like being the daughter or the son of the entity, you're still not supposed to idolize the entity. You're supposed to
Or put it on
learn from all
showcase.
of them, but
Or
use
you
And
put it
God
on
as
then
the
showcase
guidance.
and talk about it, right?
and then she's not even supposed to show it.
That's what I just
Right.
said. She's not supposed to even be showcasing it. That's just
Right.
like you're not supposed to touch Annabella.
Annabella, but
Well,
Annabelle is a whole separate like it's that
Oh, I
is
know.
it's an entity, like that's an entity.
Right.
But
Right.
I think it's just like she fucked up. There was
Right.
somewhere where she fucked up, and I know she fucked up because I know
Right.
what it looks like. Because when you fuck up, people always turn around, and their last result is always going to Christianity.
Right.
yeah. Well, that was the end result of the conversation. She was saying, like literally by the end of it, she was like, "Well, I don't really even care because I'm going to be, practicing Christianity now and all this stuff." And I'll go, "Girl,
So does she think
you
that all that shit
are
is gonna work?
all types
Does
of
she
fucked up."
like this is dumb? Does she think all of that shit just goes away just because you're reading a Bible? Corinthians chapter 12 verse 3 ain't gonna save you.
Did anyone hear her say, I'll see you guys in 2 weeks? Because I've noticed
Yes.
this is a pattern. She'll disappear for a while, then she'll come back at a certain time frame. So I think
You think she's
um,
doing like a rest in and out? I mean, her sentence like a weekend type of thing.
she has something going on, and I'm thinking she's splitting her time between New Jersey and Florida. And I don't think she's supposed to be on the internet. I think she comes on the internet when she's in Florida to
That's it.
raise hell, and then she goes
That's it.
back to wherever she needs to go to be a good girl. But,
Right.
Z, I have your probation officer's email. I'm gonna check.
Damn.
Because what the fuck are you doing? I don't think you're supposed to be online, right?
Damn. Right. You're right.
It's just, I honestly, all I hope was like, karma just does what it does and gets her because
It
whether
already
it's good or
did. The
bad,
bitch is
whether
losing the little bit of mind that she had left. But she was already crazy when we met her.
she
Because
was.
life already did a number on her and her family.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, I count my blessings. Look, knocking on that wood every day. I am fortunate enough to go back home to a family, an entire family on both sides. And I am so what? Thankful to the highest, Ache. So she can again keep playing. She's already so far gone. Like we are simply spectators in the chaos that is the circle of her I mean the circus of her life.
Every time I see her, she is what encourages me to go to church more
Yeah.
and more. And that's not even in like a good way. I just feel as if like, my
It's
partner.
probably the only place she's allowed to go during her
Yeah.
probation because she's
Doctor's
probably on
appointments.
house arrest.
Yeah, doctor's
You gotta
appointments in
watch it
church.
on TV.
The only place you're allowed to go is to work
Doctor's
and
appointments.
to
Doc,
work and to
doctor's
church
appointments. And doctor's
and
appointments.
doctor's
You have,
appointments. Yeah, yeah.
but knowing them, they're probably telling, oh, you can do like a Zoom doctor's appointment. I really think so. Oh, but here you go, Ash. I found what I wanted you to hear.
Under $5.
Oh. A cigarette? Baby papas.
I know.
Someone's striking a lighter. They got something.
It's me.
You can buy single. You can buy single J's. You can buy single grams.
Bex,
You can buy single
how many-
edibles.
Bex, how many gummies? What's the minimum amount you need for gummies?
20 and up, 5 and up.
Oh my God, I think he really said Bex. You can only buy 10
Oh my
milligrams.
God. Well, I answered, and
Wait,
I think you
Bex,
can only come 10 milligrams in my state, and I usually take 4 or 5, honestly.
so how much are 4 or 5?
I don't know, Green. Like, I think it's like 20 for a pack of 10. That's what they usually sell them as.
he knows exactly what it is.
All right, I'll send you 20, but you have to take
Doesn't
them
he
tonight.
live in California?
Okay, I promise, Green. Like, I will
I have
literally
no
text
clue.
you.
Oh my God, that's fucking weird.
Listen to what he told her. Wait, let me back it up. Listen to what he
I don't
told
know,
her.
Green. Like, I think it's like 20 for a pack of 10. That's what they usually sell them as.
He knows exactly what it is.
All right, I'll send you 20, but you have to take them tonight.
Okay, I promise, Green. Like, I will literally text you.
Oh my God, that's fucking weird.
Of me taking them.
But what about a 6-pack of beer too?
Oh, Greenlick!
What the fuck?
Are you enabling my addiction, Greenlick?
Oh yeah.
What?
Like it was really weird. The first 10 years I got sober, I started making a lot of money, and all I did was go out and buy people alcohol every night. It was the weirdest
so
thing.
Funny.
Like I would be in bars every fucking Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I would have a bar tab of like $300
That's not
every time
fucking
I went out.
funny. That's fucking weird.
No,
exactly.
You're fucking weird, bitch.
That's fine.
He's weird in every shape or form.
They have a term for it. I think it's called a feeder.
So anyway, she was lying a week ago, talking about she don't even drink beer. She don't do this. She don't do that. I'm just a single mom, single disabled mom. You always leading with
Technically, he offered the 6-pack. She did get excited, so we
Yes,
can
that's what I'm talking about.
speculate.
I
We
didn't say
can
she asked
speculate,
him.
but
Yes,
but
yes.
but to be fair, we can still speculate that she was just excited to be receiving money because it wasn't like he was sending her beer. He was sending her
No,
money.
that's the whole thing. That's what I'm saying. I was when you were saying telling us that he sends money to QB, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not the only person he sends money to. So that's why I was kind of like piggybacking off of that, because he sent money to her too. and she
Mhm.
was at, you get what I'm saying? And that wasn't the first time. And he, like every other night, because I have part two of that, every other night, are you gonna fund my habit? And or he asked her, how many gummies you need tonight? So I'm like, you're not only are you sending money to this woman, you like told her to promise you that she's gonna take them. She in turn says, "Oh, I'm gonna get on camera and I will take them." That is not cute. And
Listen,
you always leading with y'all always want to drag a disabled single mother. Why you always leading with that? You a
I
single
have a
mother.
question.
She quickly
How does
leads with that and
Officer
say people
feel?
picking on her because she's disabled and a single mom.
You hate bugs. I think it's so funny. I have a question. I have a question. How does Officer feel about him knowing that Green Lake and these strange men on the internet sent her money? I have a theory that they're just well, again, not good, but
They don't live
please
around each other though.
let her be
Yeah.
that way.
Wait, didn't he only went down to smash her one time?
Hmm?
Yeah, he went up and they this was when we was like in Hogs Live.
wait,
And
but I'm kind of confused because from what I've heard, Bex has never been dishonest about her substance use.
no,
She
no, no,
does
we're
say
not saying
that.
that. We're not saying that she's been
Oh,
dishonest or lying about it. That's not what we're saying. We're saying
oh,
that
just
Green Lake not only sends money to women or whatnot, she's one of them. We never said that she's ever lied about it, but you get on and you be lushing out and you be lit, but then when people come for you or drag you, oh, y'all just picking on me because I'm a disabled single mom. Stop weaponizing that. She's always telling people it's like she wants this empathy and sympathy, and she leads with I'm a disabled single mom. That's what really gets me as well. Stop weaponizing that stuff. People don't like you just because, or people not coming after you or dragging you, but just because. That's not. It's like she just wants all of the empathy and the sympathy, and she leads with that, and that's her grip. I'm sorry, not sorry. That's her damn grip.
well, I do want to say that I am also a disabled single parent and I am
Right,
out of gummies. So if
right.
anyone wants to send me some money to get gummies, like
Did
I'm gonna
somebody
take your
go
money
get Green Lake?
shamelessly. Like, give me money. I don't care.
Somebody go
I will
get
Hey,
Green
drink.
Lake so
Nisi.
bad.
Hold on. Let me say something to my niece. Nisi, go look at my page right now. It's gonna really freaking piss you off. Just go look at my two pages and see what she did.
Okay.
Did you see it yet, Ash?
No. I'll
Girl,
go see it. I'll go see it after the live.
you got to go see it. I'm not gonna even say what she put in the comments to me.
Mm.
Yeah, and then she's gonna tell me, a black woman, you just don't like me because of this, and this, and that's not how racism works. That didn't even make sense. How you gonna tell me I don't know how racism works? That really, that's my major pet peeve of these white tea women, especially her. She
I don't
thinks
think
you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't want to make an excuse for her, but I probably am. But I don't think she has a firm grasp on how or what racism is.
That's
And
not taking up
I
for her. That's telling the
remember,
truth. That's telling the truth.
yeah,
So
no.
I'm not taking it as you taking up for her, but she don't. But she tries to spin it and she tries to explain it and break it down like she is a black woman just because you have a black son or you swinging on some black you know what. That does not mean that you can tell me I don't know how racism works because I don't like your racist ass.
Yeah, and before I started coming on TikTok, I knew what anti-racism was. Like, I already knew all the stuff I knew. I
Right.
myself was kind of taken aback when people were calling me racist because I'm like, how? I don't understand. I'm trying to do everything not to be. But then I hear other white people talk and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm so racist.
It's
So
like
I
you
think,
don't know what you don't know. You're not
yeah.
overtly, you get what I'm saying? When we're hearing people and Ash can attest to this as well, when you're unpacking and you've gone through that
Wait,
journey
wait.
and you're
No,
genuinely
no,
asking
no, no,
questions.
no, 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 no. Aqua has been overtly racist, and we
Oh,
have talked about it.
I
Yeah,
okay,
I
okay,
have been. And like,
Yeah.
So it took me a while for me, like,
To realize, hey, this is what I am. This is what I'm doing.
no. It took me a while to accept the label, and I think
Yeah.
that's the stage she's at. Her acknowledging that she's a racist, like acknowledging that you're a racist, is very uncomfortable, and saying it out loud.
Right,
And he
right.
needs to get over that hill and just accept the label and worry about not causing the harm, right? Because I can say,
Right.
like, yeah, I'm racist. I say stupid shit. Sometimes I say shit before I think. I shouldn't, like, I'm a racist. Like, I know that.
And you
Like, you
never
can't
paid
come.
attention to it. You never paid attention to it. It was just stuff coming out of your mouth. You didn't know. What about macroaggressions? Or just racist biases? Like if you were to say something and then somebody call you out, well, oh no, that's not what that is. And then you sound like you're saying, I'm coming to realize, and oh yeah, that was I now I get the gist of it. I have a better understanding of it. And it's kind of like also with white people, they are so worried about giving that label and being called a racist rather than they never say they're not. It's like they get mad over being called a racist than being a racist. If
Right.
that makes
Well,
any sense.
Didi, you're right, but like I think that what Aqua's saying even further than that is when they finally do admit that
Oh,
as a white
okay.
person you're a racist, that's where the labor ends.
Oh,
Like
okay.
there
Yeah.
isn't any like furthering other than listening to conversations. They're not actively, seeking help or
Trying to unpack. Trying to
guidance
unpack.
in unpacking or reading. For instance, it's always like the labor of, well, teach me, black people, teach me. And that in itself is racist because white people are for generations conditioned to having black people
It was
be
labor for them.
their labor. Exactly, because they're lazy and they're racist. Hi, T-Bone.
Hey,
Yeah, and this
T-Bone.
is, Dee Dee, this is also lifetime work for white people. Like, I
Yeah.
already
Yeah,
know,
forever.
No, you're
as much
right.
as I don't,
You're right, Aqua. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely you are.
as much as I don't want to be racist, or I try my hardest, and I try to explain to people, like, it's still gonna happen. Like, even when I don't want it, like,
You
I
know,
don't
you
know.
know,
But the difference with you, Aqua, you're realizing it and you're accepting it. You're even talking about it and
but
being
that's
honest.
not enough, Didi.
I
Look.
know.
Let me
Nisi, I
explain
know. I'm
something.
saying. I'm
No,
saying to
I
this.
know, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
even then, you have to call it what it is. It's not over, covert, you're racist, full stop. And
Right.
Yeah,
that
it's true.
turning point for me was I don't know if you guys are probably familiar with Jane Elliott. She
Yes.
was somebody who, for years, I was like, wow, this is like somebody where they need to be. Jane Elliott and Bernie Sanders were those two for me, where they both were people who were advocating for humanity. Specifically, Jane Elliott, she focused all her energy on creating these experiments that made white people realize that
And
their
think.
privilege also. And then that, I think it was either the first month of Black History Month a couple years ago, the bitch was having a private conversation and they recorded it and she said the N-word. So it was like,
Jane Elliott did?
yes, girl, look it up. Jane Elliott saying
No,
the
I
N-word. It's
believe
like
you.
a
I never heard
hidden,
that story.
girl, it's a video. It's not even a story. Go watch the
Meaning I
video.
never heard this from. I heard
Oh
all of
yeah,
this
yeah,
other
yeah.
stuff, but
Well,
I
that's my
never heard this.
point. That's my point. And just in general, when it comes to the privilege that white people hold and the power with that said privilege, they will always choose the path that is the most conscious for them to do, and they have been programmed, like I said, for generations, for centuries to exist this way. So it's gonna take work, and that work is going to be until they unalive, and they're gonna continue to have to do that because everything we've been taught as a whole as a society has been programmed to be anti-black.
Right. But can I
And that
ask you
includes
something?
black people, but it's not the same. It's not the
But
same because we've been
what
made
about the
this.
people that's like, that have the biracial kids, or even as far as adopting them, or having a black partner or whatnot, and they're thinking
I
just
feel the
because
same
that is,
way.
therefore they're not racist. That's
Listen,
another thing
no.
that gets me too.
I feel the same way that I feel when it comes to interracial relationships, when it comes to black
It's
people.
like I can't be this because I'm
I
married to
feel the
that
same
person.
way when it comes to children.
Right.
At the hands of white people, black children have suffered as much as they may love and care for said child and person. There's going to be always a underlining recognition that they won't see you as a complete whole
Whole
simply
person.
because you are black, and it can come out in very subtle ways as what people call now microaggressions, which I think we could just call it what it is, racism, where they say things like I was with a family member this past week. I was in Florida and I had a family member. We were watching like a crime show, and they kept like in multiple episodes saying, "It's the black guy, it's the black guy." And it was always not the black guy. And it was just like so subtle. Like, I don't even know if they were conscious of their rhetoric, or if they were just being straight up racist, like they were willfully. But the point is that they did it, and that's harmful. And imagine growing up in a home that way. I have another family member who only straightens her kid's hair. Don't know if because the kid wants their hair to be straightened, or what it is exactly, but the kid has a need to wanting to straight hair, and that means for me that you're not been asserted that your hair is beautiful.
Right.
Well,
Yeah, or
I have
whatever it is. You
Well,
haven't had that conversation
hold
at
on,
least.
hold on,
before
T-Bone.
I
Yes,
say
T-Bone.
anything,
T-Bone,
has
wait a
anybody,
second, wait a second. Hey,
huh?
wait a second. I
What?
just have
What?
two things. I just have two things to add. One, is anyone watching the Amanda Knox special on
I'm about
Hulu?
to. I'm about to
That
start.
bitch blamed her boss, who was a black man, for this murder. And he ended up
What?
doing, yeah, he ended up doing 2 weeks in prison, but they like exonerated him because he didn't do it. But to this day, he had to move out of the country, start a new life because people treated him so horribly.
Wait, the Amanda
And
Knox that and her and her boyfriend were together, and she had unalived her college something or another.
yes, she
I
originally
never
blamed the
heard
black
about the
man.
black man.
Yes, she blamed her boss, which was a black man, and he ended up going to prison. He got exonerated, but after that, he couldn't get a job. He was heckled. He was made to feel uncomfortable. It's horrible. You should watch it. Secondly, as far as Bex is concerned, like there's been times she's being like micro or macro aggressive on the panel, and I try to tell her like, hey, that's racist, and she'll say to me, oh, calling people racist just dilutes the term and takes away the power. And she gives me this whole spiel about
That's
why.
what she told me. That's what she told me,
Yes.
and told me I don't know how. She said, "Well, that's not how racism works. Just because you
Yes.
don't like nobody." So, in other words, you're saying the reason why I don't like you is because of the color of your skin, and because you're saying I'm being racist to you because I don't like you. Why would you say this to me? Well, Didi, that's not how racism works. I'm not being racist to you. I'm calling you out on your racism. Fuck shit. That's what I'm doing.
It is
Yeah, I
about
just
Bex.
don't think she's at the turning
Hey,
point.
T-Bone.
T-Bone,
What is Bex?
when you came in, the racist they were talking about was me. I'm the racist.
Ah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
she doing her unpacking, and she just was saying how she was or whatnot, and Ash was like correcting me, no, Didi, she is overtly racist, and then she came in and she was like, no, Didi, yeah, she's right. I'm overtly, not only inherent, but overtly too, because I've said some stuff. I didn't realize it, I recognize it, but now I am. So pretty much that's how we got to where we are now. Did I get it
gotcha.
right,
Okay.
Aqua? Because I don't want to.
Yeah. I don't ever, yeah, I mean, it's lifelong
Can
work
I
for
can
me.
I ask can I ask a quick question before? Has anybody ever seen chopstick forks?
No,
No.
I have chopsticks.
Yeah, why?
Okay, I'm gonna show y'all that because I thought I was fucking tripping, bro. These are actual fucking things.
They got a fork at the other end. Oh my goodness, that's cute
It's a
though.
fork. Y'all see that?
Let me
Well,
see
you
if
can,
Amazon have them, nephew. If Amazon have them, Got you.
Gotta order y'all
Damn,
some. It's
now I want
crazy.
some chow mein.
Let me see if they have some. If they have some, I'm gonna scream at you. Let me
So
see.
I do have a question, Aqua, because I don't know if I've talked to you about this before, but I know you've seen
Mhm.
my lives where I beg the question of entertaining the idea of not saying that all white people are racist
Not to cut
because
you off, I found them for $9.99.
oh
Okay, go
bet
ahead,
Tim.
T-Bone.
Um yeah, that just like entertaining the idea of not saying that all white people are racist because what has been shown on the app in the the world, the streets of Walmart and whatnot, you know, is that white people either don't understand how that operates or they don't care to educate themselves on how that operates. And it could be because it doesn't affect them to the same level, or it could
Mhm.
be because they just mentally cannot comprehend the idea of residual effects of racism and how it operates for them to benefit, right? And so the question becomes, if from your perspective, from like the times that you've had to, you know what I'm saying, like be humble and admit to the fact that you might have done something that has been microaggressive or has been,
And
you know what
macro
I'm
and
saying,
overt.
racist
But how
Yeah.
do
and
you
macro and
how
over
if they're giving
covert,
you
right?
pushback on the T-bone and you actually not even being, and I hate to use you because you know how some of us lead with, I'm not trying to be mean or attack. We are conditioned, like we always have to make sure to
Didi,
tell
let
them
him
we're
finish
not
his
being aggressive
question.
because they always saying that we're black angry women or the black angry man. So I try my best to catch myself before when I'm calling them out or I'm trying to correct them. I'm not trying to be mean. I need to stop that. I'm not gonna say we. I need to stop that because I have to actually swallow my pride. Not that I'm not proud. I have to stop doing that. I rephrase that. I have to stop doing
No,
that. Like when I'm trying to call people out. Oh, I'm not trying to be mean. But when we're talking, just like talking, they would still say, "Oh, you're attacking me," because I'm correcting you and telling you you're being harmful. I just wanted to ask you that, T-Bone, as well. I didn't mean to cut you off, nephew.
it's
No,
okay.
no,
Just
you good.
let him finish asking me his question. Go ahead, T-Bone.
Yeah. So I guess the question is, would it do some sort of benefit from what you've seen? Because I know if I'm correct, your ballot didn't go to Kamala Harris and went towards somebody else. I think it was Jasmine Sherman, correct?
No, so originally I was going to vote for Sherman, but then I was so worried about splitting the vote, so I voted for Harris. But go
Ah,
on.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm politically and just for the advancement and progression of our society, would it be beneficial to pull back on the statement so that we can
No.
have? Okay, okay. Can you give your explanation of why? Because I don't think
Yeah,
I've heard
because
yours.
I think, and especially in my own experience, like white people were coddled, right? If things are too tough or too much for us to understand, we're coddled and we kind of put up a fight and we react for our own comfort, and that doesn't solve any problems. You sometimes I think with something like this, you have to make people uncomfortable in order for them to learn.
T-Bone, do you not? Do you like? Do you understand that when Black people hear this, we think, oh, yet again, here we are as a whole, especially Black people coddling the feelings of white people, despite the horrors of consumption of black people, the breeding of black people, the stealing of black people, the unalivement of the grape, all of the horrible, disgusting, fucked up shit that continues to happen to this present day from white people, that we feel like, fuck that. If I'm not going to violently unalive a bunch of white people, the least I can do is be unapologetically angry with my voice about how I'm sick and tired of us having to coddle wrong, having to coddle unalivement, all the things I just said.
Let me ask you this, T-Bone. Why, pretty much a little bit of what Ashley said as well, why should we constantly show grace. And even with me, when I'm saying, oh, I'm not trying to be mean or don't take this as an attack, why should we always hold back when they're the ones constantly on the attack of us and being harmful and constantly telling us, y'all need to just push that under the rug, y'all need to get over that and stop being victims? Why do we have to just not always say something or call it out when this is constantly in our face?
Yeah, from my perspective, I only care about the ones with the intention to have harm done towards black individuals, the white supremacists, right?
Right.
Yeah,
So,
but
so my
T-Bone,
issue is I
but
understand that.
T-Bone,
Well, hold on.
even people
I
like
just want
me,
to.
hold on, T-Bone, even people
Uh
like
huh.
me that are trying, are trying, right? So you would put me into that category, right? Um,
Yes,
I am still practicing white supremacy and in some way causing harm to black people, even
absolutely.
when
You're
I
still
don't
causing
want
harm.
to. Yeah.
Yes,
So why not?
absolutely. But the
Yeah.
problem, but hold on real quick. The problem that I have is that you are actively working to remove. You're not intentionally going about your way to try to cause harm to black individuals, right? And so, based off of it, what most of us know, some of you may disagree. That's fine. But white people also need to be in that fight. And this is me going on and on about the same things over and over again. Y'all heard it before, right? So I don't really need to discuss that portion. Um, but since the reason that I'm saying this is because we need to be successful. We don't have a choice, especially if we want to go towards the thought of removing white supremacy. As of right now, we're way more racist than what we've ever been as a country. We have the National Guard being deployed in predominantly black cities and where black people are residing, causing crazy amount of people being arrested or falsely arrested and harassed by officers. And it doesn't get better from here. After he's done with the whole quote unquote cleaning up the streets, we know he's heading to the homeless population. We saw him do a glimpse of this in DC. That is not beneficial for us either. Right. So it has to be some type of direction that we're talking about going with this. Because if we're talking about we don't want no harm to be caused to us. I hear you. That's fine. No association with Aqua from this point on then. You feel what I'm saying? Like it doesn't make any logical sense to me. If we're saying that racism cannot be tolerated whatsoever and understanding that people without the intention cause harm to us, then we need to remove those individuals.
I disagree to a point, because when we're hearing, and even she was like, "Oh no, Didi, I am," she's calling herself out, versus people like Bex that's constantly trying to tell people what they don't know about racism. That's not
Didi
how.
hates Bex.
I sure do.
Yeah. But Dee Dee, that doesn't make me better than Bex. We're
I'm
still
not
white
saying
women.
it does. I'm not saying. I'm just speaking
Yeah.
on what I'm seeing from her. I'm not. She just happened to be that one because she constantly does this from way back when I first met her, day one. So it's not like I'm saying you guys are on a higher or different type of scale. No, I'm saying she sits up on her big back high horse and constantly try to talk about being a revolutionist and the black person this and the black person that. And then it don't always have to be me. She does it with a lot of black people. She constantly tries to tell, like she can tell the story of black people, their plight, and how we need to be this and be that, and with the Gen 6 stuff or whatnot. I'm like, no, because you talk one way out of your mouth and then you sit on panels and I'm seeing you, I'm hearing you not doing what you always claiming you're saying you're gonna do. And I'm like, well, Bex, you sitting up here. I can't tell you who to hang out with because those are your white tea counterparts, those are your friends, your people. But don't be around black people and you're talking one way, because if you're gonna be a so-called ally, hand quotes, and an activist and a revolutionist, you're gonna call it out all around you, and you wouldn't even be surrounding yourself with that. And that's the difference between black people and people like you. When we say keep your head on a swivel, when we say stay woke, we mean we have to always be reminded of and be aware who we're surrounding ourselves with and who we are surrounded by. Because when I can go for coffee, we could even be going hand in hand. I know you my niece, so it's not a flirty thing. Don't take it that way. We could be like just minding our own business, regular schmegular business. Aqua don't have to worry about she's being surrounded or the area that we're in. I have to constantly be aware that I'm with this white tea woman and I'm surrounded by white tea people. Like one of the last survivors of Rosewood, when she said when they asked her, what would you say to your great grandbaby, this baby boy right here? She looked in the camera and told her baby and told the audience, I would always say, no matter where you at, don't go by yourself and don't ever go anywhere by yourself where you're surrounded by white tea people, because you don't know if you're going to make it out alive. You don't know. They could be your friends. She says she don't care who it is. Don't ever surround yourself. Don't ever go nowhere where you're going to be surrounded by a bunch of white tea people. Straight up. And ever since I watched that documentary and listened to that woman, she's the remember when they all went to go hide in the woods? When they came to try to get the black man, they say that raped that woman. She's the little cousin. I forget who played Elise Neal played her. Elise Neal Squeaky. Elise Neal played her. And when that woman said those words, that sent shivers down my spine. Because just like that young lady that was with her best friends at the pajama party, she didn't come back home. So you're talking about your ally this and ally that, when we know what's on panels. And what I'm not seeing people calling it out that's always claiming we love black people and all the nasty racial epithets and stereotypes that gets thrown at us and about us. I'm always gonna call you out on that shit, because this is who you say you were. Oh, I never claimed that. No, but you're talking one way, and not only because you're spinning on some black you know what. You sitting here and you laughing and joking, giving some white tea man talking about, oh, you gave him the black card because he's a certain percentage of black and he can say the N word. It's okay for him to say the N word. And I'm like, Bex, why aren't you calling stuff like that out? What you want me to do? Did he call it out every time I see you? Fucking well, right, I do. Because we labor, we do it constantly. We always call it out, and it's exhausting, but I'm not going to ever keep my mouth shut. If I see some white tea person doing some crazy harmful stuff, I'm going to call it out, right? And if you're saying you talking about you this and that with this community, call it out. And then you laugh and joke about it. Not only her, but I just really don't like her. But not only her, it's a bunch of people. Andrew, it's Nick. I mean, they're just filthy, disgustingly saying some stuff about black people, and then they want to come laugh and smile in our faces as if they're our friends. Just because they mind a few of us, they think, oh, it's okay. And then they put on this big front, you can't say that word. You can't say that word. I'm dropping you. I'm not buying into that. You're not doing us no damn favors, because y'all still do the exact same thing.
Welcome to the panel.
Hey, Wawa. Hope I didn't go on a tangent or nothing, but yeah.
Yeah, I literally don't remember what I came up in. Because I don't keep company with the people you're naming, so I don't know what the hell.
We were talking about, should we coddle white people?
Oh no.
That's when you requested up.
Oh yeah, T-Bone said, I only care about those that intend to do harm to us. Do you think that these overt white supremacists start out that way?
Sure.
You think they just start out what this?
It sounded like you got background. You said started out what?
Start out that way? Like they just start out getting on these lives saying the N-word and acting like full blown.
No. It's definitely a condition thing. If it's not on lives, then it starts at the house.
Yes, but it starts with the things that people don't don't check. It starts with the acceptability and comfortability. I don't care. You said they have to intend to. How do you even prove that intent? Do you get what I mean? I don't understand how I don't care about those things. And then I think you also said something about, well, then we just have to throw them all away. That's not how growth works. Deconstruction is a lifelong process. I would be a liar to say that I am completely deconstructed and decolonized. That's a lie. Like, what? And so are white people if they say they are not racist. Like, I just think that there is growth and there's a way that people grow. And for me personally, I don't think that anybody can vet a white tea person for me, because somebody that you think is safe ain't necessarily going to be safe for me. And so I think that that's your individual whatever. But I also think that when it comes to correction and when it comes to experiences of racism and how we address those, Black people can do that differently. But we absolutely should do that. Because what typically happens is, and I see this all the time, the same motherfuckers that say, and I'm just not picking on, I'm just going to use what you said, right? But say, I only care about X, end up in those situations where we see these lives happening, or when the X becomes about them, they want to get them alive and cry about it. And for me, because I only typically focus on us, when I, as Mark likes to say, I believe you when you tell me you're not for us. That just means from the perspective of if you let niggas be called other things, anti-Black things around you, and then get upset when the shit happens to you, oh, that sucks for you.
Well, when I say that I only care about the ones who have the intention, clearly you know that we can't prove racism, right? Like we all have an understanding of that, but we all got the critical thinking to understand that there's a big difference between someone asking to touch a Black person's hair and that being some type of, you feel what I'm saying, passive aggressive or microaggression, whatever tag you want to put on it, but it's still racism and still causes harm. And then somebody like JG who runs around this app with his name being Niggersaurus, right? Like those are two completely different levels, and I'm able to make that distinction. I feel like everybody else is too. So somebody who
But
may not have
T-Bone,
the
But
why?
racism
education or
isn't a level
understanding
though.
of why. Well, hold on just a sec. The person who doesn't have the education or the understanding of why asking to touch a Black person's hair can be harmful is not going to be on the same level as this other individual. So I'm gonna
But
have more grace and
wait,
understanding.
T-Bone, and this is
Of,
a sincere question. Why are we diluting
Right.
the harm of asking or just straight up touching a Black person's hair to a person having the N-word as their uh
Name.
name? Like
I
why are
didn't.
we seeing one more harmful than the other? How is
That's what
that
I
not
wanted to ask.
as
It's
Yeah.
not
harmful?
a
Or
it's
in
not
my
a
opinion,
scale though.
and I'm
You
going to be
can't
honest with
measure
you, in my
racism.
opinion, I think it's more harmful because in real life I could be put in a position where I'm at work, and I have recently been put in a position where a old white woman who should know better tugged on one of my braids. Like, why?
What?
Yeah, exactly. My point is that like this is, in my opinion, more harmful than a troll on the internet saying the N word. I grew up, it's so normalized being on GTA on live and hearing 12-year-old white boys calling me the N word. They just immediately knew because of my voice, they said.
Also, the
No.
So,
hair might be saying the N word to another person. Just
right.
Right.
that's,
Right.
that's all they're doing. So, like, what?
But what
I,
I don't understand, what I don't understand, and what I don't like is the scale thing. And you cannot measure racism. There's no levels to it. A racist is a racist is a racist.
Right.
There's no
No,
one
but here's
less
my problem with
racist
what you're
thing that
saying,
this person
right there,
can
Didi.
do.
That's what I'm talking about, right? A racist is a racist is a racist. Now, if we
Right.
just sat here and said that we cannot differentiate on the scale of harm, right? Harm
Right.
is harm, harm is
It's
harm. It's that
right.
simple, right?
Right.
And
Right.
so if I'm gonna sit here and discredit the Black person who has her hair pulled by a white individual, which is crazy work, by the way. I was just talking about asking the question. But
Yeah.
even then, right?
Right.
Even if we're talking about just asking the question, right? The harm level is still there.
Right.
We can't say that that type of harm is worse than one. You know what I'm saying?
I
And then
agree
that
with
just
you.
begs. But hold on. And then that just begs the question of like, is there any level of harm that we are willing to accept with this? And if not, if your answer is no, that there is no level of harm that we are willing to accept or willing to give grace to, any type of education towards, right? If the
Right.
answer is no, then why entertain the thought of having these people in our circles in the first place?
They come to our circles and they come and want to have the conversations. So I really can't even answer that honestly. If you see my face right now, I'm like raising my eyebrows, like, yeah, that's a good point, because I there's no way I can even like break that down, because we can't control, if especially if it's not our panels, we cannot control who wants to come in our circles. Now, if you're talking about in real life, That's something we
No, no,
could
no, no, no.
control
I'm
inside.
not talking about. I'm not talking about the people that come into the panels to have conversations like Bushmaster or Abby Wright. No, I'm talking about the people that's literally in our circles, the people that we converse with on a
Right.
daily. That's cool people, as we would say.
I don't
Right.
know anybody cool that thought
I
that
still wouldn't trust them per se either.
anybody cool that thought that me addressing a microaggression was a problem.
Wait, say that again.
I would not call any white person cool. They would not be in my motherfucking circle if they thought that me addressing a microaggression was a problem. They wouldn't be around me. So I don't know who
Right.
type of white.
I don't.
That's a good point.
I understand that, but again, what I'm saying is regardless of what action this white person tries to take, and we use Aqua as an example, the harm is coming regardless. Whether she never says anything about your hair, whether she never says the N word in her life, just by the mere existence causes harm to our people.
Yeah, this is the thing,
We can agree
T-Bone.
to
Let
this,
me
right?
with the
Yes,
scenario,
T-Bone.
and you're right, because that's a scenario I use. Like when I'm saying we can be just out and about or whatnot. I'm That's harm within itself right there. It's like it's a target on my back, if that makes any sense. So I get exactly what you're saying.
Okay,
I'm
but T, your
still not
question is
safe.
about white supremacy existing. We're trying to get rid of it. That's the whole
Yes,
point. It
yes, I
exists.
understand that, but I do believe that white people need to be in that fight as well. Now, if they don't
No,
need to be, you can tell me. I mean, I don't.
What do you mean in the
I'm
no.
fight?
confused.
Wait,
Part of
how
being
do
in the
we?
fight is recognizing
How?
when you're being racist and addressing it, regardless of the type of racism you are exerting.
No, it's also about getting
What?
them into. Yeah, it's also about them getting into positions of power to change
We're
things for our
Already in
people,
But
and we
power.
they
can.
don't though,
What the
Wait,
T-Bone. That's
fuck?
the
wait, hold on,
thing.
wait, stop. Wait, this going back to my point. If
I
they're
know
What do
already
that.
you
in power
mean?
and they ain't doing shit, bro, I'm so.
No,
I,
because
That's just like
your
saying,
theory.
"Oh, I have a
Hold on,
black
hold on, hold on.
boyfriend.
Your
I'm not
theory relies
racist."
on white people. I don't believe your theory relies on white people get white people. What do you think that Bell would be in power and would help black people, help niggas?
No,
being a Republican, absolutely not. No.
even
No,
if
just
she's
being
not a
Belle. Just
Republican,
Republican
she
niggas.
being
still
Belle.
wouldn't. Even if she wasn't a Republican, she still wouldn't.
Wait,
I
what were you
hold
guys
on,
gonna
wait,
say?
but if by the grace of God we get Aqua of all people into the fucking White House, let's just say, right?
Jesus Christ.
I'm just saying, just think
She's
about it.
still gonna
And
have
we
those
like,
racist
yo, Aqua,
biases, though.
the
Aqua's
folk
still
is
gonna have
telling
the
you,
racist biases.
the folk is
Let
telling you
him
to get them
finish,
reparations ready.
please.
We gonna have the bill on your desk next week. All you gotta do is sign it so you can get them reparations started, right? That's not, you know what I mean?
No, no, no.
She can also
Wait.
say
Let
how
him
much.
explain, please. Wait. Let him explain, please. T-Bone, what is the okay? Why did you just use that example about Aqua getting in the White House? You think in your head that you befriending white people like Aqua who are trying to actively work, who know that at the end of the day they're still racist. You're saying that by not being not checking Aqua on their shit, like what's your
No, no, no,
point?
no, no. I'm not saying not checking her on her shit. What I'm saying is that she is needed. I know that Aqua is enough self-aware and conscious about the shit that's going on to where, and not to the fullest level, right? But there is some level of trust that you can have in having conversations with Aqua or having Aqua come to the defense of black individuals, which we've seen her do on this app on multiple occasions, right? Like that is there.
But they always prove us wrong, though. As soon as we let our defenses
No,
down
but
and
he
let
can
them
have
in,
that. You can have that. I don't have that same thing as Aqua
right?
That's
at
so
all.
okay.
At
So
all.
again,
Being Aqua
I
will
hear
tell
you.
you.
Remember, we're not a
Yeah,
monogamous.
I feel you. So again, and I'm not trying to put Aqua on the pedestal of white individuals, right? That's not what I'm trying to do. But what I'm saying is if you're saying that you don't think that we need white individuals for the
I didn't say that
liberation at
though.
all, okay, so we do need
I just
white
don't. I
individuals for
don't
the
think.
liberation.
I don't think that the forefront of any type of revolutionary, radical freedom movement where we are breaking. I don't think white people are going to head that, baby. No, I don't.
No,
I don't think that white
no.
people are
We're
going to
not
give
about
up
that.
the amount of power and resources that they have in order to. If that was the case, they would have done it already, baby.
Right?
White people
There
would
has
have
been
been
more.
Mhm.
You
done
cannot
it.
say that. There have been more progressive people in history. Even white people have been progressive and have been anti-racist. These are not
Mhm.
new. This is not new.
I,
Mhm.
Can I interject as the future president? I
Shut
Yeah,
up.
sure, yeah.
I can be corrected if I'm wrong. I think we're talking about two different things. I think like in the fight is two different things. So for, like for white people, I should only be in a fight like with other white people. You know what I mean? I think we're talking about two different fights. T-Bone, you're talking about I don't know. I don't want to speak for you like black liberation. And my fight is stopping white supremacy. They're two different fights. Like
It
I don't
would
think
wait
black
that, but
people
that's
should
literally
ever.
what black liberation is. We're liberating ourselves from white
No,
supremacy. You
no, no,
can't
no.
That's
separate
not
T-Bone,
what
those
I
two
she's
think this
saying,
is
things.
a good
T-Bone.
wait, because I think that Aqua just made a really good point. I think that it's the same way that we should be viewing anti-blackness, right? Anti-blackness for white people is racism. Anti-blackness for black people is reflection.
That's right.
So they don't exist in the same playing field because they mean different for different people because of the way that racism is structured. So yeah, Aqua could be fighting for the anti-racism that should be being taught to white people, the racist legislation that continues to be passed, stuff like that. But liberation, like Wawa just put it, is something supposed to be by black people led, which is, in my opinion, the fact that people didn't go to Target and stuff, like boycotting these movements that actively force people to have to change, because if not, they'll be fucked.
That's not doing enough. Respectfully, we got trans people that are being attacked currently,
You're
and we know
right.
that's a
Black
big
More
makeup
trans
in the
life
black
people.
should be
community.
happening. You're
So,
right. You're right.
but
Black trans people. And they've been dying. White
yes,
people just now started caring. I'm sorry. Like that's part of my problem. All of this shit has been happening. Our cities have been being co-opted. There's been police states in our cities for how fucking long? They care now because it's close to them, because the news cares. That's my problem.
wait, but you're acting like it's not on a different. And you're telling me that there is not a different level that we are seeing right now.
In
We
what
are not seeing a
regard?
different level of
In the regard, no, I am from cities that have had military occupation, the same fucking shit that has been happening. The
I
news
have
just
been as
never showed
well.
the fuck up. Curfews, all of those things.
I've been in those cities as well.
Okay, so when white people are like, "Oh my god, this is crazy, this is radical," this shit has been happening to my people for how long? My perspective is gonna be different, right?
Do you?
Oh
It
man.
goes exactly to what Observant said that got him kicked out of a white liberal's live before this election even happened. Maybe another election of Donald Trump will give them skin in the game, and maybe that's what's happening.
I said that,
Get in the
Wawa.
game.
Okay, I said the
What?
same thing,
Hold on. What are we
Wawa.
talking about? Skin in the
I said
game.
as much as I don't want Donald Trump, I said this the first term, and when he ran again, I said it again. I said this is needed because everybody thought that Obama becoming president ended racism, and if anything, it woke up the racism of those people that we call, microaggressive, or people who are trying, liberals, people on the left in general who are also racist, who either swapped parties to vote for Donald Trump, or straight up didn't vote at all, or voted for RFK, or voted in a way that did not help the progression of this country, simply because of racism.
And y'all sound a little similar to
They
Spencer.
did the
That's
same
all I'm
thing with
saying. I'm not
Kamala as
saying
Wait,
no,
wait,
well.
it's
wait.
not.
We
I'm just
sound like
saying it
who?
sounds similar to what Spencer been saying on this app. That's all I'm gonna say.
Spencer is right about the resources. Spencer can't be right about
Spencer is
something?
wrong about how we apply this, though. That
What are you talking
application
about?
is
Listen,
Spencer
terrible.
can't be wrong. Oh, wait, Spencer can't be right about something?
a broken clock is right
What?
twice a day.
Nah,
Okay?
no.
Are you saying that? Are you using the same logic that these Democrats want to use? Oh, if you have an opinion that agrees with this thing, then you must agree with all that. Don't do that. That's weird.
No,
That's lazy.
Well, I mean, we
That's
say in the
lazy
lives all the
intellectualism.
time.
Lazy.
Hold on. Let's not sit here and act like we don't be in these lives saying that they
I
voted
don't do
alongside
that.
the white
I don't know
supremacists.
who the
So,
fuck are you? No.
well,
What?
then I guess,
I want to point
that
something out.
this message wouldn't be for you then. But you're taking up the same arguments,
So
right?
before
Of the
we focus on
harm.
the argument itself, that perspective doesn't belong to Spencer. Spencer is a student that understands resource allocation is important. He didn't come up with that. Plenty of our other actual scholars came up with that. He just understands how to follow suit.
Yes, I agree with that. When you're talking about people fighting for the uh, more allocation of resources for our people, that on this app you see Spencer most of the time doing that. Jelly will talk about it every so often, but Spencer's the main person who will literally say, "I am willing to do whatever it takes to move those resources into our community. If that means putting in a protest ballot, then so be it."
Just because somebody doesn't use the term a resource or use the same language doesn't mean they're not doing the same thing effectively, right? People that like work in different systems that reallocate funding to Black communities or have initiatives in Black communities to move resources there, right? Or have programs that benefit, right, and uplift Black people are doing very similar things, just doing the same thing. They're allocating resources to our community, targeting and specifically targeting our community to uplift them.
I don't disagree.
I hear a lot more people than Spencer talking about that in these
If
streets.
I
At least a
could,
lot more people that look like me.
if I
I
could
mean,
point
if
something
you're
out as well, I think it's important that we hear specifically what the women in our community perceive, because I mean, naturally they have a further foresight than we do and I'm talking strictly about men foresight versus women's foresight. And I firmly believe women should be the actual thermometer for when danger is going to happen. The real deal is a lot of us guys are violently privileged. We don't we don't see the same dangers. We're ignorant to a lot of it. And I guess I'm only pointing that out because even though T-Bone, you go to some of the same places, we navigate the world a lot different than our women counterparts.
Yeah, I guess it ain't nothing to be said then.
That would be a double labor for Black women as well. First, we carrying everything, the weight of the world on our backs. So that's labor. And then you have the white tea people that wants to be on the front line with us in allyship and activism and all this kind of stuff. So more labor, right? They always want to kind of like come to us for the answers, even before and after. We try to say, hey, this is what it is. And then what you just described, we need to let the Black women, or we should listen to them, let them lead because we are of a whole certain type of entity, if that makes any sense. So it's kind of like we're laboring, even for our own, which we don't mind because as we should, but it's still a bunch of labor that's being put on a Black woman yet again.
Facts. As much as I really do believe Black women straight up don't own anybody's shit, right? There's also a navigation to where, and this is purely like lessons that I've learned from my sisters and my family. If the men in our family even become too big of a liability, for example, the women have a process to where we are not welcome to certain spaces. So like I think I only bring that up because your average male, like when some of my friends come over and they see that like it's more of a clearly a woman ran dominated organization, household type of thing, it bewilders them because when I go to their house, it's very what people would call American traditional. I come from multi-generational family upbringing, and some of my colleagues, they'll have, that concept of a nuclear family. But the biggest difference, I suppose, is growing up. I told you about that one white tea friend I had when I was like a shorty. He talked
Yeah.
at his parents, and I talk to understand from my parents. There's a complete difference because of like of our perspectives. But we both knew we navigated the world different than women. It's just the concept of ignoring what Black women specifically are saying. I see how that's done in other communities with their women, right? So like I'm I'm just pointing out, if Black men, if we're to navigate the world and be not harmful to the women we're next to, Black women specifically, then we have to understand, hey, you aren't seeing something that they're seeing. I go through that a lot. And I think it's just cool to be open about it because at least some point there's a rapport game where they can just tell you like, hey, tighten up or look left, pick this up. It's sometimes it's that fucking simple.
So yeah, so then maybe because I agree with you, right? But maybe there's a way that y'all can explain it to me for me to understand this, right? Because what I hear when we have these conversations is that white people are not needed. But you say that white people can be a part of whatever fight it is, taking down white supremacy, combating white individuals, right? Um, and I'm using the verbiage verbatim here,
Mhm.
but I just need to understand how it follows that we do not trust these white individuals, right? We do not trust these white individuals because they cause harm to us by mere existence in white supremacy that they do not have a choice of.
Mhm.
How do we then get to the point of saying that we can still associate with those same individuals that are causing harm and have no problem with it? Because if there is a way for us to balance the two and still be successful, I want to know where that plan comes from and how
Well,
that works.
that only works when we're self sufficient, completely autonomous on our own. The real deal is where most people say just white tea people. I'm going to make it very clear it's non-white. Excuse me, it's non-black. That's who your actual opposition is. The to be real, this concept of white tea is the weakest of the other figures. The other ones survive in the sun longer. So look at this construct that we have as far as patriarchy. Look what we have as concept as far as this government. This is a weak dynasty. This is a weak nation, right? It's not going to last long, and we can see that. In order for us to look at YTP and be like, oh, we need you, is circular unaliving, right? We can look at the recent past that we've had with coalition, Rainbow Coalition. We can look at the White Panthers. We can look at the Black Panthers and how there was that relationship, right? And mind you, I'm 35 minutes away from where Fred Hampton got offed, right? These people who fly the stars and bars flags, uh, we know each other around here. There is no actual peace until there's actual reparations, reconstructing. So the fact is, the African black diaspora doesn't need anybody. The confusion that keeps coming in is everybody, even some like imposters who say they're black, they come in and cause confusion. And once we iron that out, I can openly speak about this because it doesn't matter. The Even me being biracial, I have to put this out in a very clear way. There's an understanding that babies like me and my little nephew and nieces were fetishized, and not in the healthiest way, because the non-black counterparts a lot of times are very vocal about like we just want a cute baby and we want our lineage to live on, and it's very easy to understand -4 birth rates. So I hope at least when I'm talking to you, what I'm saying doesn't sound hateful. It's just the practical truth. I'm not saying you can't have a dependable person who is non-black. Like I say, get it only with the people who are willing to get it with you in blood. That's where it stops, right? If you bring your humanity first, then you can actually have a focused goal. The focused goal is liberation. The focused goal is completely toppling what is oppressing, frankly, everybody. Then by any means necessary, and the only cooperation we truly need is with each other.
I think in its simplest form, and I know Ashley wants to go, I think T-Bone's asking, like, how can you hang around with people like me if I'm still a racist? Is that what I'm hearing, T-Bone?
Well,
So
T-Bone
that
doesn't see all white T people as racist.
can you say that again? It cut out, Aqua.
Yeah,
Is your
we've talked
question?
about this. T-Bone doesn't see all white T people as racist. And I think, Aqua, if you're open to it, this is kind of a, if you don't
No, no,
mind.
no. Let me. So to clarify, property to the system. Yes, I agree with this. I don't think that all white people are bigoted pieces of shit. That's where I disagree.
Yeah, yeah, and this is where we should talk about racism, right? Where like
Where are we adding racism with bigotry? Like why
ex-
are
ex-
we
exactly, like
using
we
them
should,
as synonymous words?
Because
we have to
right,
cover it
because
practically.
when I say that a white person is racist, that's because as we just discussed before, by mere existence, there's nothing that they can do, right, to change this. They benefit off of the property of that system. It's that simple,
Well, there is something I
right?
can do to
They,
change it.
but well, of course, right, but I'm talking about as it stands right now with no action, right? This is systematic racism at play predicates that they benefit from it until that system is taken down.
Yeah, so when we look at racism, we have to understand that it has nothing to do with like or dislike, it has nothing to do with love or hate, it has everything to do with living your life on offense versus defense. And I'm only going to put it that simple because I don't want it to be a diatribe, but it's okay to acknowledge your material reality and still have to navigate in that world. And what I mean by that is you're still going to be a working professional. You're still going to have to interact with people outside of our community, understand who they are, believe them when they show you who they are, but also understand you're still a black man that has to live a black life. So I will
So
talk
you're
with
saying
Aqua.
that racism is just racism. There's not different identifications that we can put on this.
Yeah, that's just the facts of our material reality. It's a white tea government, it's a white tea medical system, it's a white tea banking system, and there's other factors as well, right? And I'll get into this a little bit later, but white tea people get a lot of credit for what racism is, and it's a borrowed system that they took, right? They loved it so much they added to it. So, like, I guess what I wanted to point out with you, like, okay, why hang out with even a person like Aqua?
Hmm.
Aqua is still a human, right? So when I see a human putting their humanity first and not their whiteness first, the moment Aqua starts defending whiteness, me and her become enemies.
But the-
It's that simple for me,
so
at
how
least
do
for
you
me.
how do you how would you know whether she's defending whiteness then?
My
You know what I'm
blood
saying? Like
memory.
The second it
that's where I make my
happens
distinction. Like
consciously
I
or
would
subconscious,
say that there
stop
is a
T-Bone, subconscious or conscious, the moment it happens, you call it out. I don't care if you meant it or
I'm
not.
not
It
saying call it
happens.
out
No, no,
because
no, no.
regardless
What I'm
she's
saying
still
is
going to
it's
make
a
these
problem.
decisions.
It's a
No, 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 no,
problem. If
no.
I'm
You're
having to
not. No,
call
no,
it
no.
out, it
I
is
don't
an
think you're understanding
issue.
what. Hold on,
Wait,
hold on.
T-Bone, go
So
ahead.
just like Atum, what you're saying is that even if this is by default something that is not intentional, right? Because I'm looking at humanity as being an intentional thing.
Yeah, can I get a
You
little bit more like direct and personal?
okay?
Even my grandmother, even my biological grandmother and my biological mother, the moment they step into Asian and anti blackness, we are now enemy combatants. You can't love me and accidentally defend whiteness or anti-blackness. And I hope that makes sense. You're asking at some point, like, how do you know? We were raised black. We navigate this world as black men, but this is why I give resources, because it's not just like, oh, you just know. Me and my brothers don't see the world the same way. They're very much monoracial men. Their viewpoints are valid, but they're also estranged from our African roots. They're very Americanized. So when I point out something that is harmful from even our other family members, that sometimes is their spouse, which is that they'll have a white T spouse, it's it brings a point of contention, but they're not understanding that that non-black spouse you have is actually a danger to our children now and our family, because it's not just like, I'm not me and my wife aren't going to have kids, but our nieces and nephews, they are our kids. Our godchildren, they are our kids. So I guess I'm pointing that out to say it is blood memory, it's your instinct. You have to be read, you have to be studied, and you have to stand firm And what is already known, you have to remember, is the best way I can put it. Okay.
Decolonization is real. Like, when you think this is why I typically, you typically see me arguing with these white folks.
Hmm.
I don't do it. I mean, I'm not in here. I'm not here to convince you about anything. I know that I'm a human. I know that I'm a person. Typically, I'm talking to us because decolonization is a real thing, and we are also raised under the same fucking system. And so I care about anti-blackness from us because it hurts more to me to see a nigga out here prioritizing white comfort, out here self-hating, and not even knowing that they self-hating, and sometimes absolutely telling us that they're self-hating. That for me is more important. Like for me personally.
I hope that makes sense. That's why I throw out those books. Um, real shout out to Dog Mom, man. And there's another thing as well. Sometimes because life is so hard, frankly, and we want to prepare our kids and we want to prepare like the next generation and stuff. Dog Mom stopped me from giving one of my nephews it's a hard read. It's called Destruction of Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams, and he's just now becoming a teenager. But I was gonna give him this book a couple years ago, and the fact is, Dog Mom helped me realize helped me realize he has a white T dad, and you may be putting him in danger. And I guess I'm bringing that up to point out, yeah, a male could have gave me that information, but a woman's foresight when it comes to what is safe versus unsafe when it comes to us, it's clear as day to me. A lot of us exist in our life because of the black women in our lives. So like even as much as well-meaning as I was with my nephew and I love him, I could have put him in a very difficult and almost volatile situation, completely unknown. So that's all I wanted to point out, because if it wasn't for black women like just jumping in, like Dog Mom didn't have to say anything. She took her time out, went out her way and said, Mark, hey, sit down, listen. This is why this boy shouldn't have this book. This is why his white father shouldn't be exposed to him having it. As remedial as some people thought that was for me, I needed to hear that shit in that way right then and there. So yeah, I hope that helps.
T-Bone, did you read Stamped from the beginning with us? From me, I don't know, but we read that twice with like my book club, and I think that like it gives a good or Marquet, I know that you were there when we read this. It gives a good like overview of some of these concepts, because I feel like some of this is just a matter of like perspective. Like when you hear people say all white people are racist, do you think that that means that people mean like they hate them all, or like what? I don't know. What it just seems like you hear something different when people say that than I hear.
To answer the first question, no, I didn't read it with y'all, but I just took a screenshot of it, so I go look at it. But the second thing is that that's not what I was hearing. When I hear all white people are racist, and maybe I could have been wrong. I just had a different understanding of racism and how that's applied then. Because again, I'm looking at this as like if somebody gets in the box and says some bigoted ass shit, I'm identifying that as fucking racist,
So like,
as well
talking
as
about
the
overt act.
system.
Okay.
If that makes sense, right? As well as the system being at play, there are also actions that people deliberately take that I can identify as racist as well.
Yeah, so when you say actions, and Ashley, I don't know if you still wanted to go. I feel like you had your hand up, but are you talking about like overt, very clearly blatant racist people that get in the box and say the N-word 10 times?
Correct. Even covert. Yeah.
How many people need that pointed out?
How many people what?
Need that pointed out?
But they don't need it pointed out if you want to
Or are
be.
you just talking about displaying that these motherfuckers exist? I don't know.
Well,
You
yeah,
know what I mean? Because like, there's no analysis to that.
it's not about pointing out the fact that they exist. It's making the distinction between the individuals that take the actions to be overtly racist and then the people who are conscious and don't do the same things.
Wait, why would we make why though? And I'm asking you this specifically because you know our laws used to be overtly racist and then they just changed them to be covertly racist, right?
Yes,
So
because
like once it became no longer acceptable to do the overt thing, they just changed it into things that were like undercover. And so I don't know what the
right.
utility is of only calling out these overt actions. And I don't think you're saying don't call them out. I guess I don't know the utility.
No, no, no. Well, the utility in making the distinction between the two is identifying who can fight with and who we can't fight with. Right. That's what I'm saying. And about the overt turning into covert doesn't change for me. I still see the racism that's within it. And I think we all still see the racism that's within it. That's why systemic racism is still in play. But what I'm saying is that my goal is not to call the individuals out, is to identify and make the distinction between the two individuals that we're talking about, the ones that place their humanity before their whiteness and the ones who place their whiteness before their humanity.
But but you do agree that somebody that engages in repeated microaggressions is the same as the person that overtly does the thing.
If from an intentional or unintentional stand is what I'm saying.
White people don't even sometimes recognize microaggressions. They don't have to know.
Yeah, then I would say no. I don't think that they're on the same level.
Oh, well, I would just disagree, right? Because what you're really saying is create an environment in which those people that say the N-word now can just go back and start saying things that are just microaggressive. And I don't know. I don't know how you would understand them to be different.
It's like you're giving them a pass in a way.
Not even a pass, just a way to be racist differently.
Right. Yeah. It's like now you're using that scale. That's my pet peeve saying, right? There's no scale to it. There's no level to it. And especially if the same so-called white people back that's around people that's doing all of this stuff and you're claiming you people like let me stop bringing her in it. But we know the people that act like that. If you can't call it out, a black person actually like calling it out, and you be like, aren't you gonna say something? We shouldn't have to do that. Is what I'm saying. If that makes any sense, why we should not have to do that.
I also think.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I also think that those people, at least what I've seen, especially in like online spaces, what I've seen is those white people that T-Bone, that you are saying, they don't mean it and they don't do it. They tend to hang around people that have the same thought process as you. And then when they go into other spaces where black people don't tolerate any type of racism, they tend to get overtly racist. And so I don't know how to grapple with that.
Do you get what I mean? Yeah, that's definitely fair.
And also they have the privilege of not having to worry about calling it out or moving in a certain way, but their surrounding are so much different. So I'll use the panels for instance. Like we're on a panel or whatnot, and we constantly have to say, "Hey, look, that wasn't cool. It's harmful. The rhetoric and the all of the stuff, the microaggressions, everything that you're throwing at us." If I'm on a panel that's kind of like trying to do the unpacking and do the work and trying to scream and holler, if I have to constantly call it out, and though these are your people of your community, that's a problem. Pretty much like what I say, if I have to, if I'm getting checked because I'm checking you about the harmful stuff that you're doing, that's a problem, and I don't want to be around you. Did I get it right, Wawa?
Well, if that's how you feel, then yes, yes, you gotta.
Did I explain it right?
You don't have to explain mine. I will explain.
No, I'm saying, did I at least come across the way you understand what I was saying?
Oh, I think
I asked that because that's just how my dyslexic brain works. What's in my head, I want to make sure that it's being understood. That's why I'm always ending my sentences with
just make sure T-Bone got it. I think T-Bone got it. But Aqua had wanted Sarah to go, and then who? Aqua, Ashley, and then Cascade, please. Sarah.
I think they're here for the gifts. Their English, I don't think their English is
okay.
There unless you type to them.
Okay.
Ashley,
go ahead.
Okay, cool. This is like the last conversation I had about this with you, T-Bone, was very disheartening because I feel like you're like trying to find the hole in people's like ideology, almost like the fact that people are considering themselves as someone who is an advocate for pro-blackness or or like is harsh on their delivery when it comes to white people's comfort or in the conversation about racism and this whole system that they created on torture. I feel like it's disheartening because like you're trying to find out why people say this and then still talk to somebody like an Aqua, but then you have like your top mod be Belle, and despite all of the over racist things that she has never apologized for or recognized as being racist or done any work to actively do something other than advocate for the anti-blackness of black people, because that's what she loves to find black self-hating black men to meet up with at a hotel. Like that's who you're okay with. So why are you so pressed on like somebody being quote unquote cool with Aqua? But let Aqua know, ask Aqua if I haven't checked her. And right now, even when we were having this conversation, I said, no, you've been also overtly racist. And she admits to it. Because if she didn't, like what Wawa says, that's where the issue lies. Where I tell you something, and the second, if you give me, I did this to all my white friends, if you give me any back, it's time to check the relationship. It's time to check that quote unquote friendship, because you could never be my friend truly if you have a problem with me being black or advocating for black people. Like what are we doing now? So yeah, I think that like we don't need to find out if white people are doing it on purpose or not, because ultimately we never will know intentions. What I do know is their intention to not wanting to grow and learn from that, especially when black people have taken the time to be like, hey, that's racist. That takes energy out of me to let you know, like that lady I just told you about that I worked with where she tugged on my hair jokingly. She's old as fuck. She was around when the civil rights movement was happening. I'm just kidding, but damn near. She's like almost 70. You should know better, old lady. I don't care what the fuck you think.
Cascade. Oh, yeah, I think she wants Cascade to go,
That I
but
could go. Yeah, Ashley's definitely checked me, and honestly, like, are you even my mutuals if you don't check me? That's how I feel about it. Like, I want to know when I'm fucking up. And she does not coddle me. She doesn't fact check me. But I also have a controversial take on something, and I want to see how everyone feels about it. So I have a problem with, like, white leftist anti-racist spaces on the app because I feel like they're not progressing. They're kind of, like, on the hill, and they're not going down. Like, the conversation is not changing. I feel like they're stagnant. Does that make sense?
Whew.
Yeah, pretty much. When you say stagnant, that's what I was pretty much reading off and trying to explain the dialectic materialism. Because just like you just say, it's kind of like at a standstill if we're not paying attention. If that makes
Yeah,
sense.
they're very stagnant. It's like they read two books, and that's all they're talking about in, like, white
Not even
anti-racism.
listen
they
to
didn't really read that book.
Canada.
They didn't really read that
That's
book.
They didn't
they
read it.
don't. They're just in the white leftist spaces when they're talking about anti-racism. They're just parroting things they've heard, and so when you try to get into deeper concepts, it's difficult, and then they get upset.
It's like they read the books, like how we say you're listening to respond. They read the books just so they can actually come and have that conversation or make it seem like they have that input in it doing the work. When you just reading just to come and have a seat at the table to be in the conversation to kind of absolve you of what we're calling you out on. And just reading books, if you're not comprehending and actually doing that work, going through that journey and doing what you need to do, so that way you don't have to keep coming to in our circle asking us this or that, because we shouldn't have to be asking you any questions. Especially if you're old enough, you know enough. You at least you should. You shouldn't be asking us, well, what do I need to do? What books? We shouldn't even have to tell you that. Like we have to actually physically and mentally, emotionally learn this, but we still go and do our own research on our own people. If you're trying to unpack and say you want to do the anti-racism thing, just like we had to do the work,
You're not gonna feed off something you didn't put in on. The only thing you put in on is the racism.
I don't see many white leftist spaces focused on deconstruction. So, I mean, there's maybe a couple, but I don't
Yeah.
really see them doing much of. I see them focused on topics and debating, and that's not at all deconstruction. That's about a win and an ego. Like,
I'm
I'm
gonna
sorry,
be
I don't see the work.
I'm gonna be a little messy, and I know Cascade wanted to go, but I have a question. Does anybody know what happened? Speaking of which, somebody that I thought was doing great work was Davina. Does anybody know what happened with Davina and Black is Beautiful, or is that a conversation we should be having, not on a white panel?
I have
I
no
have
idea.
no idea what
No idea.
happened.
I don't pay attention to those people.
I noticed that the group broke up. But when people break up, I don't ask unless I was there when it happened, so I don't know. I noticed that there has been a break.
Okay. No, I was just curious because like I heard something through the grapevine, and I don't like it, but that's maybe a Discord conversation.
Do you
Marquez,
talk to
I don't know if you know
them or
anything.
the other person? Can you ask them?
What was that?
So, do you talk to either of them? Do you know either of them?
Yeah, remember I was a part of that group a while ago that like was essentially like an agency, and Black is Beautiful, and all these people were on it. Davina was one of them as well. Do you remember that?
Black Earth's agency?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nebula.
Nebula. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm a part of that Discord, and I usually once in a while will check in on the Discord. It's not like I'm like one-on-oneing with people, only with I forgot the person whose name, the leader of the agency, but regardless, I just noticed it, and
That's
I don't
Black
know if I'm imposing.
That's
That's
Black
what I'm
Earth.
asking.
Black Earth. She's a leader of like
Black
it's
Earth. Black
yeah.
Earth I talk to on the back end, but I don't go to Black Earth about messy shit because that's we've never talked about anything messy.
It's because they focus too. They ain't even gonna entertain it.
Yeah. So Black Earth is
List
cool.
is longer than Prince's.
Cascade, what is this?
Oh, I'm trying to get Memphis taken down. If anybody wants to host today, I'm on a tour. I'm doing what the white people do. I'm going on a motherfucking tour, bitch.
Oh,
If you
interesting.
want our host, I'll go live for you. Look at me, look at little Dee. Hey, girl.
What does it say? Comment this panel because I'm charged.
I'm so glad that I don't be knowing these problematic people, man. I don't be knowing who the fuck y'all be talking. Who the fuck is a Memphis? What the fuck?
And I screenshotted the report that I took for his page. They didn't find no violation. I took a screenshot of everything Marquette went playing. That's the other one. So T-Bone, if you want to host, let me know. If anybody want to host, let me know. I got these screenshots, so we should absolutely get this person taken down by any means necessary. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna point something out, right? Suavo, clear sellout, right? I just like I like online because I get a chance to show younger people around my area like what sellout verbiage looks like. What does meritorious manumission talking points look like? What does a disconnected African sound like? What do they type like? And then like I honestly point this dude out a lot. It's super easy. Like 6-year-olds are like, oh shit, sellout. And I'm like, yeah. I'm not saying you be anything you want in this world. Just stand on business. That's all. That's it. It's just little shit like that. I mean, I don't know if you all read what he wrote about Cascade stuff, but
No, man. Marquette, we used to do this on lives, though, remember? In the middle of the chat. Like, you see this motherfucker?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, you see him? I see him. Does he see him? Does he know that they're telling him that if he doesn't do this thing, they're not going to help him with his real estate shit? They basically saying you bought and paid for it, nigga, in front of your face, in front of all these people. Oh, you okay with that? We a different type of nigga.
Yeah, it's facts. And that's not true, Suavo. I care. I see you. Other children around me get a chance to see the
You know what
sellout
else?
shit you do.
Like, it makes me uncomfortable when I see white people who think they've deconstructed talk to black people that way and call them, like, tap dancers and things like that.
And they're
Like,
not
that's not our
deconstructing.
place. Yeah, that's not our
Yeah,
place to say that.
well,
So I
like
know
that's by definition not a deconstructing space.
exactly,
Correct.
exactly.
In nature, right? Like, can you imagine me leading a woman's meeting specifically centered around doing great things for women, and then I'm over there being like, yo, why are you so reverse sexist? Come on. Like,
I could definitely see you doing that, but I'm also gonna try.
they be like, this is no longer a woman's event. Like, who's this dickwad, right? Like, that it doesn't fit.
Or white people calling black people anti-black. It's like, bitch, that's not our decision. I can't stand it. And they don't get those little
Beyond
nuances.
beyond it not being their decision, it's like, how do you think they got that way? Through the beating and conditioning and beating and unalivement of do it this way or unalive for generations. You think that we're not going to have self-hating black people because they're so traumatized, their lineage is so traumatized that this is what the result is? Like, how the audacity of a white person doing that is equivalent of like making a, well, I don't want to compare it. Never mind. I was gonna say comparing it to like torturing a creature, like an animal, but I don't want to compare that to black people. But that's the equivalent. You're mad that something bites you back. You're mad that they've gotten to that point. Shake the table, man. Shake the table.
Yeah,
Hello, how
good.
are
Oh,
you?
hey, Mia.
What's good? What's good? I'm a little bit elevated on this fine Sunday. I'm a little shaken before I leave. The one thing that gets me is that people have their comfort black, right? White people have their comfort black advocate on this app, right? It's either the Itchies, the Livs, the Dontrells, maybe even Hogboss if he knows he's black that day, right? And they use that as leverage, and they use that as like some pawn, some token in a way that I can speak to any black person any type of way. I saw this white woman, right? White woman. She was asking if this man was black just because, he was espousing anti-black shit, the Tony shit, you get me? But her audacity to ask if this man was black, like you feel like you had a place to question a black person's identity just because you have a closer proximity to black people that you give money to. Remember, white people, the black advocates that you're giving money to, they don't really give a fuck about you. Okay? You're funding their life. You sub, you gift. That's all you're good for. Remember that. Stay in your place. Inviting yourself into black issues just because you like a black advocate, quote unquote, doesn't mean shit. And that's what really fucking bothers me. Just because they think that they can support black people by, oh, I'm just gonna gift him. Yeah, he's doing great work. He's educating other people. Shut the fuck up. Like, perhaps, just like maybe. You gifting Liv or you gifting Itchy doesn't make you a good person. Your deconstruction is only surface level. You're still a shit person. You're still racist. At the end of the day, when you log out and leave this app, you still have your biases. So what are we really doing here?
Not a
Okay,
damn thing.
I'm done.
Creating a white safe place for those white people that are.
Ah.
If we would use, I'm gonna have to do it for you. Do it to you, T-Bone. A level below whatever levels y'all are talking about. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it does. And then they go into other spaces, and then they act as overtly racist as they actually are. They just know they can get away with the shit in front of certain people.
But it's also parasitic in a way because I'm gonna be honest, the viewership that these select people that I've spoken about like just a minute ago, it came from Jones. It came from Jones because Jones is no longer on the app. He's no longer streaming. They came from him. They have to find a new host double entendre, you know what I mean? In order to fund this like type of parasocial relationship in a way, as if they're doing some good within the Black community by gifting these fucking people. You get what I mean? It's still that cult fucking mentality. And it's very off-putting
Beyond
to me.
Jones, I love you, but I think it's beyond Jones. And I think that if
You're
you
not
pay
wrong.
attention enough to white leftists, especially the ones that come in W in their favorite niggas, and watch how they interact with other niggas that disagree with their favorite niggas in any facet, especially if this is what I see, and I don't, especially if that Black person isn't Black first in the sense that they check their audience.
Hog boss, hog boss, hog boss,
Pay
hog
attention
boss,
to
hog
them.
boss,
If
hog
they
boss.
don't check their audience, they will always show overtly racist behavior in other spaces. Always.
Right. Exactly. And the Yadas and the Devons, people like that, people that I never thought I would even question outside. I'm like, okay, what? You're not what? And they give that green light to have these white tea people. Oh, you guys have to get over this getting called the N word. I'm so sick and tired of hearing that because we say it too. What the hell are you doing? Why would you say some stuff like that? So they getting co-signed by their own counterparts, and they're getting co-signed from the Kunishas.
I also want to be. I'm not saying all. That's not all of their audience, but a lot of them, and I see it a lot. That's why I don't pay them no attention. No fucking never mind. When those white people come out, get the fuck out of here. You are not. I always tell them this is not that side of TikTok. I don't know where the fuck you think you're coming from, but not in here. And the worst part is, they can do better because usually when I'm hosting, they know how to act.
Wawa, what it reminds me of is like, the Roman games? Like how people are just watching, like everyone's cheering and picking their favorite gladiator or some shit. It's kind of like that. It's like the Colosseum. Like Black people against Black people. Like, for example, let's say if, I don't know, like fucking LJ, right? Joins, I don't know, Santana's panel, right? They're all coming out of the woodworks to watch and salivate over it. It's like it's a spectacle. It's a show.
It's like a menstrual show. Like,
Literally.
let's
And
be for real. It's a menstrual show with money. Come on, well, they was getting paid too. So what the fuck?
It's
That's what it
so
is.
jarring to really conceptualize that these white people who think they're doing the work, who think that they're actually implementing these things into their everyday life, it's just for show. It's just to enjoy seeing other Black people tear each other down, calling them anti-Black and coons and shit, but they're not actually implementing anything into their life. It's just, oh, yeah, he's anti-Black, he's a coon. And the host makes it a safe, like Wawa said and Didi said, makes it a safe space for them to say these things, to be racist, under the guise of being paid in money. I'm not saying all their audiences are like that, but there's a good portion of these white people that make up their audience.
And another point to add
It's
to
not
that
when the
as
money's
well.
rolling in. I'm not gonna think about it. That's why I'm telling you, Mint. I've said this for years. Never trust, especially Black men. It's typically y'all. I'm sorry, that are surrounded by these white people all the time, especially their mods. If their mods don't look much like us, they're probably not for us. Trust them, believe them when they tell you they're not for you.
Right. And also to add what Mint was saying as well, or like building their audience or their base, they have those list of Kunishas or set of their Kunishas, their tokens, right? And you have the Black people, Black people that's gonna actually not call out stuff, but no, meaning the Kanisha. They won't call out stuff, but they know that Black person, especially my big mouth. You can have people like that on a panel. A white tea person come up and say some harmful stuff. They know that one Black person is always going to be up like the little activists or whatnot, but they're going to have that Kunisha to say, oh, it's not even about that. It's not even about that or whatever. So you're right when you said, they have their set audience, and that's how they build it on. They go and get their little Kunishas, and then they go and let people up that don't agree with some of the stuff. And then the white tea person throws the wrench in the game and say something harmful. You call it out, and then you got the Kunishas, and we both battling, we fighting each other. And that's the show that they want, because that's exactly what Andrew and Nick and all of them do. They just sit back and watch. And I fell for it the other night, I ain't gonna lie. But it was me getting on Chatterbait Skinko. Sorry. But I still went up there and popped off and gave them the show that they wanted. So you're right, man. They exactly, that's how they build their audience and make money off of us. The bastard.
You know what else I can't stand about white leftists? Like, let's say, I'll use me for an example. Like, I was racist, right? White leftists, which is their job to correct me and educate me, they don't. They will just jump on other white people for being racist instead of doing the real work, which would mean, like, educating them. They jump on the train of, like, condemning people when it's not their job. The job is re-education. Does that make sense? It seems like it's performative, I guess is what I'm saying.
That's because it is. I don't know. These spaces are just not run the way they used to be. I know, like, even back in the day, it was like, even when there was a white person on the fucking panel, it could be a white host, like Irish, for example. Irish could be hosting a fucking live, and it could be all of us in the panel, and there'd be one white racist person. White people, as soon as they started being racist, used to hop in the fucking box and want to give their labor. No, y'all, we used to have to fight with them because they wanted to do that. They wanted to make sure that they were, no, this, don't do that there. Or they were in the comments saying, get your ass down. Why the fuck are you up there? Like, they was cussing each other out. They don't do that shit like that no more. They just have the audacity. Like, it's and especially in leftist spaces. Like, the fuck? In my life, white people knew not to even, they would see a black topic, they wouldn't even request. They would say in the comments, they'd be like, don't you dare request. Make us look bad. Like, they were just, I don't know. It's different. It's the audacity now for me.
Right. It's because they are also over. They have that comfortability, and they know they can go in and think they can go and speak on stuff, whether it being getting checked. They know they're not gonna really get checked. They know they're gonna have their little token to come in and do what they do. One experience, we were all on a panel, and this is what it was. Asha's space, I think. I mean, no, DACA's. I'm sorry, it was DACA's space. So this white tea woman was coming up doing her little spiel, and it was me, somebody else. I can't remember who. I don't know. It definitely wasn't Raleigh. I can't remember who got off. Dang, it's on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, she came up, and she had people kind of like going at it because one side was like calling her out, and then the other side was kind of like trying to help white explain. And we're like going at it or whatnot. And she is, and the people that was actually calling her out was kind of like getting called out for calling her out. And she's sitting back giggling and laughing and said, oh, I did my job. I came to do what I needed to do. And when she said that, she didn't think nobody heard it, but we heard it. She tried to sneak and say it under her breath because she was covering her mouth with her hands because she was laughing so hard. And she said, I came up and I did my job. She knew exactly what she wanted to do. She knew if she was to say something problematic, one of us was going to check her. But the people that was actually doing the check-in actually got checked by the Cornetius for like, well, why y'all jumping on her? And that's how they work. That's what they want. And they do that because they know they're going to have their little tokens to come in and YT try to save them. It happens all the time. And it's not going to stop me from calling stuff out when I see it, because that's just something I don't think I can let go. Especially if you're running around here saying you one thing and I'm seeing you moving different.
You know how I know? I'll test like the white anti-racist a lot because I know all about the system of white supremacy and racism. But then when I try to add a layer like misogynoir and sexism, they're lost. They don't understand how the systems connect. They're
Because
just
most of them are learning. They're learning on TikTok. That's what it is. They don't understand the system. The systems are all, and I'm gonna be fair. That's a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of people, not just the white people, don't understand how these systems are connected and how they're all rooted in the same thing, and how you literally can't talk about one without the other. Like, what? But they don't get that because they have this surface level TikTok understanding of these concepts that literally is so far from a deep understanding. This is why they can't action it. You don't even understand it. Then when they're getting corrected, they don't even know how their action fits in the system that they're supposed to be the expert on. That's the shit that bothers me. How the fuck do you know this and yet you're doing it? Like, what?
It drives me nuts. Hi, Iris.
Hi, Irish.
Oops, must be busy. Yeah, it just drives me nuts.
I don't know, but
But
I don't know right now. I don't know if you guys saw the conversation right now on leftist, or not even leftist. It's liberal talk. Is about this dark money fucking article that came out. Are we acting like these people aren't bought and paid for? Is this actual news?
What is dark money?
Yeah, that's
what?
what, there's like an article that's going around
Are you talking about like Black Ops?
about
I
leftist
didn't heard
creators.
this.
Oh, okay.
I'm about to cover it because I do want to know if people feel like dark money should be used on the left, or I don't know.
I don't
Do
know
they
what
feed
that
off
is.
billionaires? I don't know what's actually happening. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm
Me either. Can you
interested.
explain?
Okay, so there was a Wired article about an organization that is allegedly tied to dark money that bigger leftist creators, or named the people here might know would be, I believe, like Trouble, Aaron Parks, were attached to, and the
Why you need to
reporter's
repeat?
allegation is that there is a, oh man,
Oh my gosh, I'm reading it. Are you ready, Marquet? Hold on. A dark money group is secretly funding high-profile Democratic influencers. An initiative aimed at boosting Democrats online offers influencers up to $8,000 a month to push the party line. All they have to do is keep it a secret and agree to restrictions on their content.
Well, damn.
Okay.
Well, I
Yep.
guess I'll be seeing a lot of y'all on that program. I guess not too many people
Aquas,
are gonna
that's the
say
one
no to
from
8K. So
Aqua. You reading the one from Wired?
Yes. I
that's
just
the
read the
correct
header.
that's the
Okay,
correct
yeah.
article. So what has happened though,
Mm-hmm.
guys, is that those creators that have been named have all come out with statements like basically bashing this journalist or independent journalist, talking about her past actions, talking about, oh, she's getting paid from them too. It's just there's a lot of blame shifting and a lot of defensiveness coming. You can check like Good Trouble's thing. Basically everybody yes, but everybody
he
is
blew
now
the
mad at
whistle.
her. Yes, they basically are saying, well, you got the money too, and the Republicans been doing it. And apparently some people did tell their audience that they were joining the group itself. She's not actually, if you read the actual article, she's not actually talking just about Core. She's really talking about is it the 1630 group that funds them? I guess the type of 501c4 doesn't have to disclose all of its donors. And so that's what, like, when you don't know where the money comes from, they call it dark money, you know?
Yeah, 501c4 is for profit though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
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 so
yeah, yeah.
it's private. They don't gotta say shit to
And they don't have to
anybody.
disclose. And that's
Yeah,
her. The guts of the article is essentially they should have to tell. Like, you should have to disclose these sources. But the liberals are going crazy about this. Like, she's getting bashed. She's getting bashed heavy. They're like, oh, she did this problematic thing, that problematic thing. I'm like, okay, but is she lying about this?
yeah, exactly. Like keep making the
Like,
main
she
thing. Like
she could have done. They said she's getting the money too. I said, okay, but is she lying?
so she's doing better than you guys.
Oh, it's bad.
You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, she got the money too, and she told on everybody.
And
Like
of course,
honestly,
she white, so some of the niggas is like, is she racist? I'm like, oh shit, she
frankly,
all these things.
she honestly beat me to it. Like, I can't wait to do some shit like that.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of shit, but then nobody's really saying she's wrong, so I don't know. They're saying her article was misleading. They're saying a lot of fucking shit, but I'm about to host on it because my question is, I don't have an issue with influencers getting paid. I have an issue with content-based restrictions, and I would like to know who's paying you. I don't think it doesn't make sense, right? If billionaires can back fucking the Republicans, billionaires can give you money too, but billionaires can't give you money and tell you what you can and cannot cover. Interestingly enough, a lot of the people that are here haven't really been as harsh toward the Israel, to be fair. It just seems like it's a center-right type people
Yeah,
that are
Democrats don't
portraying
realize
them.
that's what they are.
Yeah. Yeah, but it seems like they want to stay there.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Like,
they want to say they're so hard that they would rather
absolutely.
fight.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Somebody was talking to me about like, hey, vote for the Democratic Party. And I almost spit my drink at him. I was like, man, get the fuck out of here, man.
Okay, so who do we think is getting dark money on TikTok?
Just go to her page, to go to Tommy Loren's page, and she'll show you some people that already stitched her. The fuck? Already
I don't
talking
even
shit
like how
about her.
they're calling it dark money, man.
I haven't looked who it is, but I have a feeling who it is.
But generally, we don't care that they're getting paid, right?
Is it gonna be that evil? Well, like, is that one evil white lady gonna be involved who tried to
Maybe.
prostitute college girls for the the Democratic the what is it, the Unfuck America? You know who I'm talking about? Is she gonna be involved?
Oh, I don't think she's a part of that group, but I think that was the tip of the iceberg because they still haven't. The article references an NDA, and nobody has released the full NDA up until I last checked. So if somebody can find the full NDA, I would love to look at it. But
I
same
can
way
go
with
to.
Unfuck America Tour, nobody released the full NDA, and I haven't seen a full NDA here. I've seen people release bits and pieces, but typically for me, that means that more likely than not, there's some truth to what that article is saying.
I can go the rest of my life without seeing that woman. It's just pure evil, dude.
Oh, they had that lady on CNN. She's getting bigger and trying to recruit more people too.
Yeah, she's going to be able to do it too because she's willing to literally schmostitute young women for her initiative. She said it out loud.
She did say that.
And it was like so easily looked over and laughed about. And her and that one Ofe were laughing about
I know.
white supremacy. Like, yeah, like, come on, man.
People didn't even give her real flack about that, honestly. The fact that she was like, oh, you want to sleep with these women, and so we're gonna what?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I guess all I'm
hard.
asking is, y'all ready to burn this down yet?
Well, that's the problem, actually. The problem is the Democrats are not ready to burn it down, and so now they're fighting with true leftists that are just pointing out that you're not ready to burn it down, and they're getting mad about it. And they're like, "Well, we got to harm reduce. We got to do." That's been the Democratic platform for a very long time. How long is harm reduction going to be your only policy play?
Yeah, man, that is wild. That was wild work, man. $8K a month. Yeah, there's gonna be a bunch of cats we know applying for that.
Well, I have a question for you. Is this the same story about this woman? This woman was actually spilling the tea on everybody as far as like the Democrats and how they were using certain types of influencers to get the word out, and they were saying that this isn't why the Democratic Party lost the election. It was not only their messaging, but they didn't know how to use influencers like how the right use it. So what they did was
I don't know. No, this is
it's
not
familiar though a little bit.
I don't know what you're referencing. I only know this woman from this article, and this article is about the dark money in there. I think the initiative
It was the Wire.
is about.
Yeah, it was from the Wire. We was doing it at Doctor's Lab this morning.
Okay, then it might be similar. That's what Chorus is trying to do. Chorus is trying to do the same thing the Unfuck America Tour claims to be trying to do, right? Combat what the right has been good at doing, which is addressing and getting young people out to vote because they have gone into the influencer game. That's the same thing Chorus is trying to do, or at least claiming to do, but on the blue side of things.
It's more than that too, man. Like, as much as Kay's in here, ma'am, I'm gonna need you to drop. But when it comes to the Republican, your conservative, like actual power players, the people who make decisions, they embraced the diabolical base they had. They didn't change anything. They didn't make any alterations. They embraced them. So they actually had very little work to do. All they had to say and do was like, all right, guys, I know you heard the dog whistles. Let's get it going type of stuff. These aren't dumb people. So the organizing and all that stuff really matters. But like the what I know the Democrats will fail to do is stand on business, right? They're strictly competing with numbers. They're not competing with, oh, how do we actually get this unadulterated true message out? They're not going to embrace those people they find radical or anything. It's genuinely it's a caveman fight. That's what it genuinely is.
Well, that's what the Democrats are saying. The Democrats are trying to do it's blue. They're trying to do blue MAGA. Honestly,
Yeah.
that's the truth. And leftists don't want that because leftists want change, and that's
Why you
how
breaking up?
Democrats. They don't want to change. Oh man.
Y'all get Wawa a minute.
Okay,
Where's
I'm
that blue
trying to
Democrat?
figure
Blue MAGA? Doesn't he come over here? He saw this
Democrats.
coming years ago.
Who?
This white dude, he's a Democrats for MAGA. He wears glasses. He says clearly inflammatory things. I remember
Did you
seeing him
say
like 3
your name
years
is
ago, and I
Blue
was like,
MAGA?
no, his Democrats for MAGA. I remember seeing him like 3 years ago, and I was like, yeah, he's ahead of the curve. He knows.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to create Blue MAGA, which is essentially keep a center-right Democratic Party in power, because the true leftist agenda would affect Democratic power.
100%. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I think she's saying that. Is she saying that good trouble is part of it?
Yes,
Yes, yes, yes.
Wow, I believe her. Okay.
Well, I was saying to Wawa, there's a rumor going around. I don't know what's going on with the
No
rumor
one can
right now.
hear you.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, okay. Yeah, Aqua, I don't know if you've heard this rumor, because you like know everything. Did you hear rumors that Good Trouble's racist?
Oh yeah, and he is. I've heard him. He microags all the
Okay.
time. Yes.
Okay. I heard that rumor there, I think it was like last year. I was saying it to Wawa yesterday. I wouldn't be surprised every white person's racist.
See, that's what I be talking about. I can pluck them and smell them a mile away, but they sit in certain circles. And when you try to call them out, you have people that's like, no, that's not what they're not like that. I had enough of getting yelled at and screamed and yelled at and screaming.
The headphone went out, Dee
I'm
Dee.
sorry. Oh, my mic thingy fell. Sorry about that, guys. I'll get so fed up with getting yelled at and screamed at when I'm trying to say, hey, why are you even saying anything? Because you was this, and this. And I'm glad Aqua you held this thing because I've been looking for you like for a minute. The dude Irish, remember we were talking about Nooka and how she is and how she was.
Yeah, now she's coming around our spaces because she
I
don't
saw
want to be
that. Can you
associated with
please
that.
explain? Can you please explain just a teensy a little bit so they
Oh yeah,
would a
so
little bit understand my frustrations with her?
so Nuka was a hardcore Irish cultist, and she would believe anything Irish said to the point of like stalking and bothering people. So Irish went after someone that was a minor, and when he did it, he didn't know that person was a minor. So when it came out that he was a minor, Irish went on the back end to like smooth things over with him. But he didn't tell anyone else what had happened. He didn't tell anyone that that person was a minor at the time that he terrorized him. However, Nootka and Kush were running around this app, like terrorizing anyone that you remember Kush. He would say, "Oh, this person's a P3 and that person's a P3," and we would be like, "Bring receipts," and he couldn't bring them. Well, Nootka and Floof were doing that to everybody that Irish had an issue with, including this minor child. Now that Irish has fallen down, Nootka's looking for a new home without any accountability for her horrifying behavior and how she bothered people. And she's not welcome here.
I saw her been popping up in Bo's live. I've seen her popping up in other people's live. I think I saw her. I don't know if she went in Dana's live before, but it seems like where a lot of black people conjugate or whatnot. Not saying she can't go, but I'm like, well, why is she even still around? Because the nasty, disgusting thing that they did to Dream, when I was trying to bring attention to it at the time, I was getting shut down a few times. So I was finally able to bring my evidence and let them all hear how this woman is. Because what she used to do with me was tokenize me against Dana. Like if me and Dana going at it, it was always me, Dana, and DeMarcus. We would get into a heavy debate. I would go and get my sources, go at it. And y'all know how Dana is. Dana on the over talk and yell and scream, and I just used to go on attack with her. So Nuka would come up and say, "Let Dee Dee talk. That's a black woman talk. Let black people speak." And I know she can't stand Dana, and I've not said anything too many times, and I'm like, I'm just gonna wait and see this through, you know.
Oh yeah.
Every time a black person, and mainly me, because she was saying she was doing this for me. Every time you or DeMarcus or anybody black would speak, I'm getting tired of her doing that. That's why I sniped her for you. I'm like, I didn't ask you to snipe her or do anything. And so when I came up and I'm like, you know what, Nika, I'm really getting tired of you tokenizing me. And everybody jumped on me and said, no, she's not like that. And I'm like, oh yes, she is. Why my feelings getting negated? Because I'm telling you, she's using me to silence Dana because she can't stand Dana. Don't use me. If you want to go at Dana and tell Dana shut the F up, do that. But don't be saying, oh, let Dee Dee talk. That's a black woman. She did it way too many times and I got sick of it. And then this thing happened with Dream where it was accusing him of essaying, and I had the recording of it, and she tried to lie her way out of it. She was going along with another white tea person accusing this young man of doing something he did not do. And when I played that recording, she couldn't say nothing for herself because she tried to lie and say, oh, I wasn't there. And then when I said, okay, you've had 3 times to tell the truth, and they kept asking you, are you sure? And she lied again. Well, I have to get ready because I have like a lunch date with this person. And I'm like, wait, y'all make her stay here long enough so I can go get the recording. Came back with the recording. When she saw her face and heard her voice, oh, I don't recall saying all of that, doing all of that. And I still have that recording. How disgusting
Yeah.
she was. And why she's still hanging around, I have no clue. Because that's something you don't like get away with. All I can see was Carolyn Bryant, right? Long story short. I'm not understanding it.
Well, another instance I had, so a few years back, Irish was getting into it with Viral Christie. And so he wanted to like fight transphobia. So he had like Viral Christie and a whole bunch of women on a backdrop. But Shanta, who is a raging transphobe, was on that background. She's also a black woman. He made her into a walrus. So I was in the comments screaming, like, can we please change the picture? Don't make her into an animal. That's racist. RGB, Nukta, all the stands told me it wasn't racist and I support transphobia. And I kept saying, like, no, she's obviously transphobic, but you cannot turn black people and women into animals to make your point. So they all riled against me to protect Irish and say, well, Irish didn't make the picture, someone else did. I said, I know that, but he still chose to use it. So they went on this big campaign about me, how I supported transphobia. And my only point was that you cannot fight transphobia while being openly racist. You cannot make black people into animals to fight transphobia. I'm not down with that. It's just terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, and people like comes in around in black spaces and put on this big front and act a certain way. And I can't control people's spaces. All I can do is bear and grin it, don't engage with her, and just keep it moving. And that's what I've done. But you know how something just gets up under your doggone fingernails and it irks you to the point where I just need to like back away because every time I see her, it burns me up that much because it's like you're getting over on people. You're smiling and grinning in people's faces, and I've seen the stuff that you do because every time I'm in a certain area on debate type, I will see you. And it's like y'all don't be seeing everything I be seeing, and when I be trying to bring it to the table and say stuff, I get shut down. I get like, oh no, hold up, DD, or I get muted, or I get dropped because I'm trying to bring some attention to something, and I don't know if they just not want to hear it. I get frustrated, and they always want to say I'm going on a rah-rah or whatnot, and I just want to be me. No, it's not that. Y'all don't even give me a chance to even bring nothing up. And the only reason why I actually got a chance to bring up and show them exactly what she did is because we happened to be talking about it one night, and everybody wanted to know what are you talking about. And I say I'm talking about the same exact thing that I've been trying to get y'all to listen to me on, and y'all wouldn't. So we finally had like a little meeting, and they were holding her accountable and letting her see, and she was still lying. And then when it was getting too hot, when all the evidence showed, even Ab came up, and Ab dragged everybody that stood there and let this white tea woman accused this black young man of doing stuff he didn't do. She called everybody. She said, now one of y'all, not the black man that's on the panel, not nobody, none of y'all stood silent. I think the only one that said something, I don't know if it was Pharaoh. I don't think it was Pharaoh, but it was one of our mutuals. And he kept trying to like stop it or whatnot. He was the only one that actually really spoke. But Ed came up and slayed that whole panel and said, y'all wrong. Y'all sat there and all y'all dogpiled on him, wasn't letting him saying it. You got one person that's like saying that she's for the blue and she's a this and a that, trying to tell a black man about his history and saying, you know more about black people and his people and his leaders that's no longer here. I know more about this than you. How old are you? How old are you? No, you don't know nothing. I've done this, and I've even went on to the Capitol, and I've marched, and I did this and that. And so that's why Arab came up and cussed her out, saying, "How are you going to tell this black man who is highly intelligent, and you're going to tell him about more about his history and who he is and where he comes from?" So that's why when y'all be seeing me like really like just be going on 10, this is why. And I know, and I guess I just let it get to me to the point where it overshadows what I'm trying to say, or if I'm actually in a civil discourse or whatnot. But it just gets to me when I see white women come up and do stuff like that.
Oh, I know it gets to you.
And I don't know how to really deal with it because I don't want to be seen as, oh, the annoying auntie. She's always rah. But no, that shit hurts. It hurts a lot. And I don't think they get it. They just want me to not, like, you always, it's because you don't like me. No, it's not because I don't like you. It's because I see the sneaky stuff that you do and how you're saying one thing and you're moving another way. And I don't like seeing my people like that, being used like that. But nothing really I can do but continue to call it out, Aqua, and let the chips fall where they may.
No, one thing I noticed with you is like when you're heated about something, you get excitable. But I know I've learned with you, if I listen long enough to what you're saying, we can start putting the pieces together and find out what happened.
Right.
But people just don't give you that patience, I think, to kind of put your pieces together.
And I'm not trying to put it on my dyslexia or whatnot, but I do get like a little, not scrambled brain, but it's that like little glitch that I have because I have so much stuff in my head. I want to like get it out. And it's not about interrupting me or, write it down. It's like I want to get it out at the time, but it's not coming out how I have it compartmentalized. I can't talk. It's not like, coming out. That's why every time when I am bringing something, whether it be sources or I'm talking about an experience or what have you, or just being a part of the conversation, I'm always asking if that makes any sense. And I do that on purpose because I want to make sure that, did it come out across? Do y'all get what I'm saying? And it could be annoying probably to some people, but that's the only way I can actually move on and say, okay, yeah, they get it, they got it. You made sense, Didi. You good. But in my brain, that's not how my brain works. And I don't think they understand that. But everybody else that has a type of ism or whatnot, they get a lot of grace. But it seemed like I get flack for it. But I'm dealing with it. And I appreciate that, Aqua. Thank you.
You don't have to deal with it. People are impatient. I'm like, when I see, I'm like, oh, she's upset. Something happened. And I don't think people give you the credit to let you speak long enough to get your thoughts out and organize. That's what I see.
Yeah.
That's my take on it.
Yeah, I've been like that since a little kid. So I'm kind of used to like, oh, what you talking about? Whatever. So that's what I mean. I just learned to deal with it and move on. But it's kind of like it's unfinished business because I was told to knock it off or shut up. But those feelings are still left in me. So then the next time when I come in on Tim, that's just the remnants of how I was feeling the last time. If that makes sense to you. When it's just like an finished type of upsetment or whatever, and you holding on to it, and then you see that very same thing on person that have me like in an uproar within myself about my community, it makes it that much more than being on 10. And I'm being looked at as I'm just screaming and yelling for no reason. So I received exactly what you just said because that's exactly how I feel.
Oh, there's a reason. We just got to give you time to work it out, and people don't give you that time that you need. That's how I feel. Like you
Is
need that
T-Bone?
extra time. T-Bone, you there? T-Bone.
People, you better not have fell asleep.
I'm really loving our conversations today.
Me too. And it wasn't even
Yeah,
like messy talk. It was beautiful. Seriously.
conversation
Thank you,
just went
Aqua.
wherever it went.
And normally Rue would be in. Y'all would be hearing Rue with her bringing her dog on bell on her collar. This dog is knocked out. She's never like knocked out like this when I'm yelling or even if I'm just talking on a panel. Rue would be trying to get my attention and get me away from it. I'm looking at her right now. She is knocked out right now. She had been sleeping the whole time.
But
So it
Dee,
must be a good conversation.
I do want to agree with you that Bex is very racist. Um, and you have every right to call her out. But I am working with her slowly because with someone like
Oh, I
her,
know.
it's
I've seen you.
slow.
I've seen you do that.
You can only do a little bit at a time.
And I had to bite my tongue because I'm like, well, I kind of know what she's doing, so I'm not gonna even like point it out because she knows how I feel. But I've seen it, so I don't think I hadn't been paying attention. But that's the difference with some people when I'm seeing them kicking with her. I know that's not what you're doing, so I don't even like go at you or say anything. But no, I cannot. I can't. Oh, I can't stand her. And I'm gonna tell you what I have on my post because I was trying to find out the picture that I took. So we were going at it, and we were talking about black people, of course. And she said I'm jealous of her, and that I don't know how racism works, and I don't like her because I don't like her, I'm calling her racist. And then she tagged me and said, "Yeah, Didi, I do get the BBC."
Oh
But
my
she said
goodness.
she's not. Yeah, but she said, yeah, it's I posted it, and I got a bunch of. I didn't do it for the views, but I did it because I know people know of her, and the few comments that was left, there was like, oh, she's at it again. So it's not just me. She thinks people putting rumors out on her, people are lying on her, and when she's in her comfortable space, like Nick and Andrew, she have the loudest mouth. She don't let me finish. She don't let anybody talk, and she gives herself showtime. So she thinks she be cooking and roasting and eating. No, she don't. You're just making yourself look that much more stupid. I'm making myself look crazy because I'm yelling and I'm letting you get to me and poke me the way you're poking, and the stuff that's coming out of your mouth, you think it's like articulated and intelligent thoughts, but no, you're not. And I know what I need to pull back on. Stop hitting up that engagement and yelling. So what I did, Aqua, was said my prayer. I talked to my mom, and I said, you know what? Just like I was doing with Kunisha on birthday, I can get my leg back. I don't have to keep going up there and showing my butt, and because I know people look at me, and I don't want to always be looked at as Didi is always like yelling and arguing with somebody. I don't need because they tell me like Didi's not working, stop doing it. So that's how she's up, she's shaking her thing. But that's how I get my legs back. I do my little memes, I make my posts because I rather be I can be silent and move and still get my point across than to be loud and be suppressed and keep getting muted and being told to shut up.
All right,
If
Joker.
that
How can
makes
we
sense to
help
you.
you? We muted you in the comments because of what you were saying. How can we help you?
Who, me?
No,
Well,
Joker.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I was wondering why you called me up. What's up?
Yeah. How can we help you?
I don't. Can you explain the background a little better? I think I misunderstood what it meant.
Can you read or no?
I know, but the context, like I said,
It's all men. Is
I
that what you're
talked about.
talking about, or is it
Wait,
please
okay,
drink
Pretty much.
bleach?
hold on, Mike Kate. What does the first word say, Joker?
Please.
Okay, and then what is the picture of?
It looks like Mr. Smith holding
No,
a bottle of
it's of a YT man. Okay. All right, got that. And then it says drink bleach. So now put it all together.
So the white man is asking people to drink bleach?
Well,
No,
at the
okay.
top, it's important to note that it's all NEM, which is not NEM, it's men, and it's please drink
Oh,
Clorox bleach.
Right.
as opposed
What
to
do you
like
think about that, Joker?
Oh my,
What do you think
oh
about
my
all
God, the
men?
educational system in America is so bad.
What do you
I
think about it's
mean,
all men, Joker?
I don't think I can talk about reasons we used to drink bleach, but
Maybe you should drink some.
So, like,
well,
do you?
back in the day before we had to take a test,
Yeah,
certain kind of a test, we thought like a thimble full of bleach would kind of clean it out a bit.
That's
yeah.
This
not
was an old.
Maybe you should
This
that's
was an
not
drink
old.
true.
bleach. It might give you
Yeah, this
some
was an
brain
old wives'
cells.
tale by stoners.
That accounts for a lot of erroneous behavior, honestly.
I was having fun with him, Aqua.
That was me. I
I
ain't got
didn't drop
time.
them.
uh, I was still with the brain cell people. Give me, you could have given me a bit more time because I had early birthday present.
And this is why these type people don't come to my face, because baby, you get blocked within the quickness. I don't play no games.
You could have given me an early birthday present. They were to uneducated Americans.
T-Bone, hello.
T-Bone's
He
behind you.
alive.
T-Bone,
Open your door. He's there.
hello. Hello. Okay,
He
all
just
right.
texted me. He said he's knocking at your door.
T-Bone, send love for my birthday.
Oh, he sent me another text. He said, adjust your blinds.
I'm not gonna
Happy
lie, y'all.
Thursday.
I'm
All right,
Uh-oh.
really.
I
well,
know who that
T-Bone come
is.
back and I'm gone. Y'all ask him when he gonna go live so I can bring up what I said I was gonna bring up earlier. Thank you.
Okay.
He said, adjust your blinds?
I'm really
Hey,
craving some crab salad right now. Some
Okay.
crab salad with some club crackers.
Oh, no. Why do you want to do that to
Just
yourself?
want to do me a favor for my birthday. Don't talk about food on my birthday. Thank you.
When's your birthday? Didn't your birthday already pass?
No, Tuesday.
Tuesday? I'm gonna make sure I
Yeah.
talk about food extra on Tuesday.
You know what,
That's
Poison?
fine.
I ate 20 pieces of sushi last night.
That does not even sound appetizing. If you're gonna talk about some food, make sure you talk about something that sounds good, okay?
I'm
You
just
don't even know
saying,
what
I think
type
I
of
need
sushi.
to. Oh, I got like a variety. I got some, what is it, shamimi with the raw fish. I got some
Everything she would
vegetable.
eat.
Yep, I got some sashimi. I got some vegetable and rice wraps. I got some fish, eel and fish, shrimp and fish wraps. I got a little bit of everything, the sashimi and the sushi.
I'm sorry, that sounds fucking disgusting. Don't ever. Mm-mm.
You're
Okay.
about to have a
Oh,
crab
you're in her
salad.
life.
Do you even know
I
what a
mean,
crab salad is?
Yes.
What's a crab salad?
It's sushi without the wraps.
No. Crab salad is when you get some crab, some
Mm-hmm.
paprika,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of ranch or
Mm-hmm.
mayo, but I don't like mayo, so some ranch.
Yeah.
You get you some
Comfort.
onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, some cayenne pepper,
God.
some pepper.
So, Poison, did you like mussels?
Man, please.
It's
They're
like a tuna
gorgeous.
salad.
Oh,
It's
there's
like
a
a tuna
boycott for
salad.
Andrew? There's a formal boycott?
Yes. Yes. That's why I
he
was like,
just
they was like, Didi, get out that box. Get out the box, Didi. Honey baby had to come and get me down. Yeah, that is a boycott for him.
Isn't she lovely?
still
That
here.
blind,
I
that
wouldn't
blind
waste my
motherfucker is
energy to
stupid.
go into Andrew's life.
Yeah.
Hey,
You
Aqua,
still
I'm watching it. Aqua, I'm watching Amanda Knox right now, so if I'm too quiet, I'm still here. I'm just watching the first part, okay?
Okay.
Oh my God, Aqua! Somebody sent me a message about me muting them in your live, and I wanted to show it to you.
Okay.
This is the first part. Hold on. Wait, is this it? Can you put me in the big box? Aqua, can you please read it in your YT voice? Thank you.
Yo,
Okay.
is that Nomad?
No, that's insanity.
Okay.
So I was muted multiple times because I was speaking about religion, colonization, white supremacy. We have the same ideologies. The only difference is that I am with a stupid effing YT race that I hate, yet I am YT. So in my understanding of privilege, I decided to DM a black man and tell him that I understand that I am lesser than I preach, that other people understand that history has been rewritten hundreds of times under the false pretext of doing better as a whole. Saying bye is an understatement. Hypocrisy is not tolerated. So please give me a good explanation on why you said bye when I literally hate my people and am for everyone else. I could never understand what another person's skin tone nor what. Hold on. Only difference is, oh, hold on.
And
Okay,
what
we'll
they
start
go
again.
through. That's what you're.
Saying bye is an understatement. Hypocrisy is not tolerated. So please give me a good explanation on why you said bye when I literally HATE my people and am for everyone else. I could never understand another person's skin tone nor what they go through, but I am 100% ride or die. So why did I get a bye?
Oh, damn.
Wow, who is that? Can you show their profile picture?
It's insanity theory. Hold on. I ain't get the profile picture, but it's insanity theory. That
Hold
person.
up. Let me see if I got it. Hold on.
Let's see if I
Hey,
can invite him.
Phoenix.
I'm gonna invite him back. Make him explain this out loud.
Why would a white person DM a black person like that?
He's messaging me now, Aqua, and saying, "Feel good, feel seen, bro." Ah!
Just
Why
request
would a
up.
white person not DM the White
Request
House?
up, Insanity.
Why would you say that to him, Insanity?
Request up since you watching. You DMing me now. Come up in the panel. We can have a discussion about it. Come on.
And why not DM Aqua? She's the host.
Right. Come on up. We
This
see you. You're
this reminds me
clearly.
of this is like the white people in leftist spaces, and you see them in the comments. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm white tea. The white tees, making those stupid comments. The white tees apologize. Making those stupid ass comments. I hate those. I
Hold on.
apologize for being white tea.
What? Oh my god.
You've never seen like white leftists in spaces say that shit in the comments?
I'm not gonna front.
Or
There's only a
white
few times that I'm reading, and that's when I'm typing.
or white tea people when there's a racist white person on the panel, they're like, we don't claim him. Like, bitch, you don't have a choice. He is you, or they are you. Stupid. It's so
Yo,
stupid.
yo,
I
that's so funny.
apologize.
Cascade got an angry DM.
Only person I see in the box is Joker. Somebody named Joker with the anonymous mask.
Oh shucks, man. That is funny, dude. Why did you mute me when I said bye?
I'm for the people. The YTs are so bad. If you pay attention to the comments in leftist lives, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Why did he DM the host? Why would he DM a black man?
I know, that's what I said before I
That's what
got
I
on.
said. Please explain to me, like making demands. Were you making demands of somebody? Like as if anyone owes you an explanation. Maybe he muted you because he just felt like it. I don't know.
He muted you because you're white.
Maybe he did. I don't care.
I'm just playing. Hold up, I want to show you something. Hold up.
If a mod muted you, they had a good reason. I'm not going to like interrogate a mom into why they made a choice they made.
And this truffle right here, I put some on my baked potato. Aqua is so good. It's the mint truffle. Let me see if I can open it. It's the truffle sauce. It's so good. When I open it,
That
I'm
looks
like, I
good.
know they didn't put no caviar in here. And I put it on my baked potato. It's so freaking good.
Truffles is rich people stuff, Dee Dee. You got some caviar in there? Some escargot?
No, I can get that with my EBT. Yeah, I'm saying it. No, damn it. They want to try to drag me because I get my lamb chop for my EBT. I paid for this with my EBT. They take it on Amazon. They'll let you know SNAP eligible or whatnot. So it's not all of them. Like wait a minute. Hold up.
Well, they shouldn't be
This is my
mad because
truffle. This is my
lamb is
truffle
very
oil. See, I get the truffle oil. As you can see, I need to get another bottle. But yeah, it's like SNAP eligible. Some of the stuff. But my lamb is SNAP eligible. So as long as the government gonna feed me and pay for it, I'm gonna buy it.
As you
and
should.
I said what I said. Yeah, hell yeah, and they want to rag on me. The white tea people want to rag on me about it, but I'm like, oh yeah, but I'm eating good. Me and my dog are eating good. So there's that. You can put me back.
That's okay. I do have to end the live though because I have to go get more edibles before it closes.
You're gonna come like if I don't know if somebody else is gonna go live, but like, I know Bold is live right now. You gonna come over?
Yeah, after I get back from the special store.
And Andrew, he just went live. So go ahead. Thank you so much, Aqua. This was extremely, really, really good, calming and soothing. Thank you so much.
Well, you're welcome. It was nice to talk about topics and to actually let other people talk and to hear their opinions.
Right.
Besides just being messy, we have to remember that outside of the mess, we still can have conversations.
Exactly. So go ahead, be careful, get back home safe, and I will talk to you soon.
All right, I'll see everybody in a bit. Bye.